Welcome to the Punisher Castle podcast, where you've got a group of nerds talking about the nerd stuff they love. Everything from movies, TV, wrestling, and comics. If it's nerdy, we've got you covered. As always with you, your hostess with the mostest, the bearded one, Big Tony, and the Jesus. Yeah, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Punisher Castle podcast. We've got Big Tony with us. Woo! We got the Jesus with us.
Hey everybody, how's it going? I'm reporting live from a Subway. You know, a Subway sandwich, not an actual Subway. I'm not stupid.
And we got Mr. James with us.
Yes, I'm not sure what I've got myself into, but I'm here.
You never know what you get yourself into with us.
How's it going, fellas?
Good, man. Good. How you been?
Been good, been good. How was your guys' fourth?
It was explosive.
All right.
There you go.
Yeah, what about you, Jesus?
Ate a lot of food.
Yeah.
Yeah, I slept through it.
Okay, that makes no sense, but
He
okay.
was in a food coma.
Yeah.
Gotcha. What about you?
I just enjoyed perusing Facebook and going over all of the comments from people who were complaining about their dogs being bothered by the fireworks. Entertainment at its finest.
Yes, I
Nice.
love it.
You know what I did? I
love
slept
it.
through that. My poor dog, but I slept through it.
I'm sure your dogs were probably going crazy while you slept.
God, that is amazing.
You have no idea how many dogs have PTSD, apparently.
Yeah, I know.
That's the thing.
I don't know what their first traumatic stress was. 'Cause the whole thing is post. It's supposed to be after something else that happened to them.
Oh,
I
man.
have a German Shepherd, so I'm guessing it's like World War II stuff.
Okay. Yes. Wow.
Oh, man.
What are we going to talk about?
Well, today I figured we'd do our second half, our follow-up to our tag teams and stables.
Yes.
podcast
Factions, all
we
that
did.
stuff, yes.
Yeah, what was that, about 3 months ago?
Yes.
Maybe 4, yeah, something like that.
A few months ago.
Yeah, but that one jumped. People
Yeah,
liked
it
it.
is. James, I don't think I told you this. Our wrestling factions and tag teams first episode is in the top 5 of all the podcasts that we've done.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah, that
Yeah,
one jumped.
That
and so
jumped so big.
That's
Nice.
kind of what spurred us to be like, we should do the second half to that
Yeah.
one.
There you go.
Yeah.
We didn't
Off
get
the
into
top rope.
Attitude Era and all that other good stuff. And especially even then, we got a lot going on in the tag team faction divisions right now. Breakup of the
Yeah.
Bloodline, possibly the breakup of the Judgment Day.
Yeah, it's very true.
Like, you know, it's they're bringing back that faction tag team stuff into this generation. So
Yeah.
let's go back a little bit and talk about some of the older ones, the ones that laid the groundwork for what we're seeing today.
Yeah.
Yep.
Who wants to start?
All right.
I started last time.
Yeah.
I specifically told myself to bring this up. So I'm going to do it.
Okay.
Terry Funk.
Okay.
The Funks.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I told myself I was going to bring
Were
it
they
up.
really in the Attitude Era, though?
Oh, no.
No.
But I told myself that I was going to
That
bring
you
it
just
up.
wanted to talk about it.
Well, that.
Yeah.
And if we started talking, I knew I was going to forget. So that's why I was like, if you don't say it right away, you're going to forget. So
Well, was it Chainsaw Charlie was part of the Attitude Era, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
you
with,
know,
with,
him and-
with Mick Foley.
Nick Foley, right?
Well,
You know, so
technically Cactus Jack.
Yeah.
that's
But
right.
Mick Foley, you know.
Yes.
The
No,
great-
that
great.
yeah, dude. The Funks were
not
shoot.
Jude Love.
Was it? It was just Terry and Dory, or was there another one? I don't want to say there was a third brother. It was Dory Senior, and then
No, it looks like it was just Terry Funk and Mick Foley, and that was it in
right, but
that,
in the original, was it just Terry and Dory?
I believe so. Yeah.
Okay.
I think so.
Okay, I don't know why I thought there was a third one in there. Maybe I'm just thinking of Dad Dory.
Could be.
Yeah, I don't know. I just watched the Dark Side of the Ring on the Von Erichs, and there was
Yeah.
5 of them. So maybe I'm just thinking that there was more to them as well.
Yeah.
Dude, I thought, no, there was 6, wasn't there?
Not
No,
anymore.
there's 5 and 4 of them are gone.
I thought there was 6 and 4 of them were, like two of them killed themselves. And God, fuck, there was so many.
I think 3 of them killed themselves, and 1 passed of natural reasons. and then Kevin, I think, is the only one that's still around.
Shut up.
Yeah.
Don't say Kevin.
So his name really is Kevin. If you haven't seen that one, check that one out. It's really good.
Yeah.
Really good. Yeah.
They talk about I forgot his name. The one that didn't have the leg.
Carrie.
Carrie. Yeah,
Yeah.
really well too. And they show footage, and still I can't figure it out. I can't see him. Like I don't know.
No.
He's not like Jim Abbott.
Well, even then, they're doing a movie. Zac Efron is playing one of the Von Erichs.
Really?
Wow.
And if I had to guess, looking at him, it looks like he's playing Keith, not Kevin. But I don't know, because I like the pictures I saw. He's got he's freaking pretty ripped, but he's got the hairstyle looks more like Keith's haircut than Kevin's. But I don't know. Yeah, I saw it. I want to say I think it may be a Netflix thing.
Yeah.
I don't think it's a major movie prediction. But yeah, I was like, really, Zac Efron? And then I looked at it. I was like, maybe.
I don't know. There's a lot of story in the Von Erichs to tell in just a single movie. That would seem more like a miniseries.
Well, that's
I
what I'm
think.
saying. Maybe it's on Netflix. Maybe it's going to be multiple episodes. You know.
I hope
That would
so.
that would seem to make sense.
But
Hope
I would
so.
think that'd be a better way to go about it.
Yeah.
I would think so too. But like I said, I saw pictures later on. Look up freaking him, Zac Efron as a Von Erich, and then we'll have to talk about who you think he looks like.
Interesting.
Because I don't think he's playing Carrie, but I don't know who they would get to play Carrie.
I'll do it. Fuck it. I have the summer off.
Is your schedule free?
It is.
Yeah.
I'll do it. I'll go to the gym tomorrow. I'll start getting into it. I guess I should be ready by what
What year is it going to be?
fuck it. The end of the month. I'll just start eating green apples. I'll do.
You gotta be
Wolverine
done
guy.
by the time the writer strike's over.
Yeah.
Oh.
You got
Oh yeah, then I have plenty of time. Yeah, I got plenty of time. Shit. Then I'll go to the gym next week.
Procrastinated while.
Yeah, shit. I'll be fine. We're gonna get hate for that one.
Yeah, we might get a little heat for that one. It's okay. That's all right. We're talking about wrestling. What's better than heat?
Yeah, I'm sorry. We don't have writers for our show. Too soon.
All right, back to wrestling.
Oh my god.
So yes, Funk's definitely good tag team back in the day.
Yeah.
And eventually into the Attitude Era, as we saw with Chainsaw Charlie. Although, man, those pantyhose really were tight on his face. I felt bad for him.
Yes.
He looked so uncomfortable.
It looked like he got the wrong size.
Yeah.
There's no real right size of putting pantyhose on your head.
described that out of his
I
wife's
don't
drawer.
know. He seemed to illustrate there may be a wrong size for.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, we should
No, he
totally
doesn't.
take a picture one day with all of us in pantyhose in honor of Chainsaw Charlie.
As long as they're clean.
Well, of course.
I got one right here of myself.
Oh, wow.
Yes, but we want the pantyhose on your head.
Oh well, yeah. Sorry, I used to be a baseball pitcher. It's just confidence.
Is that better than wearing a bra on your head?
Well, that's only if we're making a woman.
Yeah, that's
if we're making a woman, then you have to wear the bra on your head. It's ceremonial. They said so in the movie.
It works. I saw it.
It's an important step.
It works twice.
And always remember to hook up the doll.
Yes.
See,
Yes.
important things you learn from movies that most people forget.
Oh my god.
All right, so Attitude Era.
Well, we're segueing from Chainsaw Charlie. Well, what about the Mick Foley faction?
Of all three of him,
Yeah, I mean-
Mankind,
I will
Dude
admit,
Love, and Cactus Jack. I mean,
Yeah.
he was his own faction, I think.
I did like the fact that, what was it? I don't remember which Rumble it was, but he came out as all three versions of him.
Yeah.
That was awesome.
Yeah.
I like the matchup he had with Triple H when it was the three faces of Foley, and he had to wrestle each one of them in a different type of match. Like that was awesome.
That was
It was so awesome.
Yeah.
And you got to give it to Mick for being able to go 3 rounds, and against Triple H, that's not easy.
No.
The Rumble, that's a little bit easier. I've done Rumbles where I've come in as multiple characters, but that you're punch, kick, maybe a couple power moves, you're thrown out. Good, cool, I'm done. But to go 3 full matches with Triple H, I give him a lot of
And
credit
that was
for
that was all on the same night, right?
right. It was all same pay-per-view. Like and mixed matches, they're not easy.
No.
And one of them isn't easy on his body, but he did 3 of them. That's impressive. I'll give him that.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so I don't even know how to describe that guy. He's like not in shape, but he has the shape to just go through all of it.
Hey, round is a shape, dude.
That is a good.
Just saying.
Yeah.
Round has a
In
shape.
that case,
What do you
you and I are in perfect shape.
Yes. Yes.
What do you expect from a guy who would jump off his house?
Yeah,
Like that was his training.
Yeah.
like a chair with bob wires and tacks
yeah.
and everything, and he's like,
And that's got to be the segue to that one guy. Hey, you guys all know who I'm talking about. He's a Juggalo fan. He constantly dives on stupid things, Lego bricks and microwaves. And,
yeah,
You know who I'm talking about? He's got
Yeah.
a beard. He always takes his shirt off.
And he
And
says-
whoop, whoop. And he fucking
Oh
does
yeah,
it.
I haven't seen any of his videos in a while.
Me neither. But like that dude,
Yeah.
he has a girlfriend.
definitely crazy.
I mean, come on.
I haven't heard of this guy, but yeah, that
Really?
would make sense.
Oh, he's
Oh my
We'll
God.
show you something. About
Yeah,
him.
he
was on Facebook and like, the
TikTok and all
videos that
that
would
stuff,
pop up. And I mean, he's met pros and they've done stupid segments with him, but he likes to jump onto stupid things. Like one time I saw him do it to like a refrigerator, and it was like, dude, that's a solid refrigerator, and he's doing like elbow drops onto it.
Yeah.
and the sentons, and I saw him do it. It was a microwave covered in Lego bricks, like just crazy things,
Sorry.
Right?
But-
You felt that one.
Yeah, I felt that chills.
And you can't help but watch these videos and be like,
yeah.
but at the same time, you're like, it was your own stupid fault. You
Yeah.
chose to
Yeah,
do it.
how stupid do you have to be to just let me jump off of something and like
I'm sure it gets him tons of views because
Well, yeah,
obviously,
but, like, at the end of the
he's
day-
making it. Hey man, if that's what you want to get known for, I mean, you know what I mean. But I got to think that guy was a Mick Foley fan. Like something in my heart just
yeah.
tells me
or just like some backyard wrestling.
he's a fan of that.
you know.
I remember, I had that video game. I played that video game.
Yeah, it's like the Jackass to extreme.
But there were some good guys who came out of the backyard industry. We should
yeah.
get into that someday.
Yeah.
But there were some good talents that came out of there.
yeah,
Get into some backyard wrestling.
dude, I used to like that when it first came out. When they used to have those like bootleg videos of backyard wrestling,
Yeah.
rated X, can't show on WWF.
Yeah,
Back
I
when it was
remember
called
those.
WWF.
Yes.
I remember those.
I used to get those, and I was like, "Oh wow, you guys are nuts."
I know this is off topic, but I got to ask, how do you feel about the deathmatch scene? Are you a fan of it or not really?
Not at all.
Not at all?
Not at all.
Okay.
What do you mean, deathmatch?
All right. I could tell because you're not
Yeah.
saying much. So I'm like,
No,
I don't
I'm
think
just
this
not
is
into-
your.
How can you not be a fan of the celebrity death match? I'd love to see Marilyn Manson versus Frank Sinatra.
Hey, totally wrong show.
It's what?
Yeah, I got the wrong one.
You're way off.
Oh, sorry,
Yeah,
my
you
bad.
took a turn at claymation, and
But don't get me wrong, I did love that show.
Yeah, no, it was a good show. It was a good show.
a good video game, the first one. Sorry, just want to throw that in there.
So yeah, not a fan at all.
no, I look at it as just like it just seems. I don't know. To me, it's too much.
I-
I don't necessarily want to see that, and when it's so much of it, it loses its impact anyway.
I get your point, and it's not my cup of tea. I get it. It has a certain fan base, but it's not mine. Like, you know what I mean? As a wrestler, I would not compete in that. I've been in hardcore matches, and I get it. There once in a while, to make a point, you've built up the feud to where now it's going to be anything goes, or you're battling some behemoth that you need that to be able to balance the scales. Like, you know what I mean? But it's got to be the storytelling.
It's got to make sense.
Right.
Right.
To just be like every match is this. No, I get you. It loses its effect and it just becomes bloodfest.
Right. Right.
It's
it's the same fan base. They'd also they'd turn up to watch videos of like people hitting kids with cars. I'm sure.
No, I get you. Like I said,
they'd be on board. I think.
I've done my barbed wire. I've done my thumbtacks. I've done that stuff. And yeah, it was fun and it was cool, but I couldn't imagine putting my body through that on a continuous basis.
I don't know. You just described thumbtacks and barbed wire as cool. Being in it, that was cool. I don't know about that.
it was cool in the moment, you know.
It was it?
Yeah, it was. It was.
I'm not sure if that's what was going through my mind.
So long as you get the right pop from the crowd. If you do it and there's no pop, then yes, it's wasted.
Then it sucks.
Then it sucks. You feel every ounce of it, and you're like, son of a bitch, why did I do that? But if you get the right pop, you're like, yeah, that was what I wanted. So it's
All right.
that's the payoff for it. At least in my book.
suppose.
In my book, that justified it. And the crowd's got to be there, man. I'm not going to do it in front of 10 people. I'm going to do it in front of, a nice sized crowd.
Right.
And again, it's got to make sense to the storyline. It's got to be built up. And
I think that's the most important part.
Right.
It has to be. It has to make sense.
True. So, all right. Sorry, I had to get into that just because, like I said, I could see James wasn't saying much over there, and I wanted to get his point of view on that because I could tell it wasn't his thing there.
Yeah.
Just reading the room. Sorry.
That's all good. So let me just say the Attitude Era was probably one of the best, at least for me, one of the best times in pro wrestling. Because you got WWE, WWF Attitude Era, then you got WCW, freaking Monday Night Wars during the Attitude Era.
True.
Like, holy crap! Some of the tag teams in there are just freaking insane. I kind of want to go through just some of the favorites that we have of Attitude Era factions and tag teams.
Dude, everybody knows who my favorite faction of the Attitude Era was. That's easy. And we've got 2 words for you.
Suck
DX.
it.
Oh, sorry. Yeah. Suck it. Nah, dude, DX. I gotta put that down as like my hands down faction for the Attitude Era, man. Like I was a diehard DX fan. I still am to this day. I rock my DX shirts.
Yeah.
And I rock the black and lime green anytime I can.
Yeah.
Shit, my golf bag is lime green. My golf glove is black and lime green. Like, yeah.
Okay.
So I'm a DX fan to the bitter end.
Nice.
So that would be my go-to if I had to pick one. I mean, I get you. Attitude Era, great time for wrestling.
Yeah.
It'd probably be my second favorite. I got to go with the 80s, man, as being my favorite of it because that's what got me into it.
Yeah.
Hulk Hogan, Junkyard Dog, Roddy Piper. Those were the guys that made me want to be a wrestler.
Oh, yeah.
Attitude Era made me realize I could be a wrestler, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I wasn't that big guy. You had him bring down Chris Jericho's and Hardy Boys and, guys like that. And shit, even Spike Dudley. Shit, Mankind, we just talked about him. He wasn't the typical huge Adonis built, chiseled wrestler. It showed that, hey, anybody can do it if you learn how and you do it right. So I get it, but it would be my second favorite.
Okay.
That's just me personally.
All right. What about you?
Well, hold on. Mankind also did the thing of like doing stuff that no one wanted to do, or like was like, nah, dude, I'm not gonna jump from all the way up there into a cage match to fall through the cage.
The falling through the cage part wasn't planned.
Yeah.
The throwing the part off or throwing him off of the top, that was.
Yeah, I'm sure the Undertaker looking down was like, well, we can't go back now.
I actually just saw a thing, and it was the 2 of them sitting there watching the match together.
I saw parts of that.
Yeah, and he's talking about how Undertaker talks about how he had like an out of body experience at that moment.
Yeah.
That he saw from their perspective him throwing Mankind off of that roof. And I'm like, that's kind of crazy. But it's cool to hear him talk about it and like.
Oh, wait. Did he talk about it like in the Mankind?
No, he was a normal Mark Calloway.
Yeah.
Fucking shit.
One thing I thought was interesting, though, because while that was a planned spot, not everybody knew about it, I don't think, because that Spanish announce desk, they were scrambling at the very last second. I think they realized he's coming. We better get the hell out of the way.
And I don't know how they couldn't, because all of us fans knew what was coming. We were like, oh, no. Yeah, do it. Oh, no. Yeah, do it.
I don't know. Well, we knew they were teasing it, but I don't know. Even watching it, I remember watching it, and I'm like, they're not really going to throw him off the top of the cage.
Yeah.
I didn't
figured
think
Mick
they were
was crazy
really
enough.
going to do it. And then when he did it, I'm like, oh my God, he actually did it. It was incredible.
I thought he was gone, actually. When it happened, I was like, oh shit! And it's because it's
We just
For
watched
so
somebody
long,
get
yeah,
killed on
like a
TV.
couple years.
Right,
Yeah, it was
yeah.
like 4 years, maybe. Like I don't know how many years. I don't remember. But yeah, I was like, oh no. And back then, they took that 2-3 minutes before they started again to like, because that's a hard bump to like just
Oh,
go
hell yeah.
back and wrestle
So
again.
supposedly, I had read that they had actually practiced that move
How do you practice that?
for for that match.
I'm sure you can practice it like
You
from
probably
a top
practice
to
into
the
pads.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
would think, just so you could learn how far you have to go, how hard you have to
Yeah.
go to get to that table. So I would imagine they would put pads there and let them throw him off the top of the cage so that you could learn,
Well,
what not to do.
see-
As we say in the stunt industry, you learn what not to do the first couple times.
I'm sure with him too, because he was used to jumping off of houses.
Right.
So, and I know that sounds dumb, but just looking down and doing the jump and figuring out how to do it, it's good to him. Like he already knows it. He just needs to look at it. Okay, this is what I'm doing. I'm gonna just practice it one time. Like I'm sure he already had it because
True.
he's so well, but just to like see what his
Yeah, but he was also doing that off his rooftop when he was 18, 17.
It had been a few
Yeah.
years.
And,
Yeah. A
now
few
he's in
years
his late 30s.
He's got some pretty good practice in that.
He's got to make sure the body can still get that distance
I mean, he nailed it. I mean, he hit that table right.
right where he wanted to.
Yeah.
oh man, did he?
That was definitely
Obliterated the table.
hardest bump I've probably ever seen.
God, man.
Insane. So, who is your favorite? You didn't really.
I totally forgot what we're.
Tag teams, Attitude Era.
Attitude Era Tag Team.
Oh, I was thinking about it the other day. I really like the New World Order. Is that was right?
NWO?
Yeah.
NWO. Do I say NWO?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I always because I had a friend that was really into gangster rap, and there was like a gangster song.
Yeah, you can say NWO. You're good.
But I always like their stance of everything of fuck.
Now you a black and white or a red and white? Or red and black. I'm sorry. It was black and white and red and black.
But it was, yeah.
Yeah. Were you a Wolfpack or were you an original NWO?
It was original.
So black and white. All right.
Yeah, I think you have to go original on that one.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, but I did like Sting when he had the red and black face paint.
yeah.
That looked cool. I don't know why I liked it.
I was never a fan of the whole Crows thing.
See,
at
neither
all.
was I. That's why I liked
Yeah.
when he went to the red and black, because then it became like his own thing.
Yeah, because I was like, okay, you're gonna be the Crow, fine. That's what I would do, I guess. But, but you were already somebody else, and now you don't even talk. The Crow
Right.
talks.
Yeah, I wanted to see Sting, not the Crow. Mm-hmm.
I did
Old
like
school
Sting,
Surfer
yeah.
Sting.
Yeah,
Nice blonde
that
hair.
was Sting. You know?
I remember when he used to be on Tropic Thunder with Hulk Hogan. You remember that show?
Yes, yes, yeah.
Mahalo.
Oh man, that was a crazy show. Hulk Hogan on a freaking boat solving crimes and shit. What the hell?
Horrible.
You have to
sorry.
think someone had a cool boat, and they're like, "We got to find a way to use this boat."
Yeah. It
was a
And they're
nice
like,
boat.
What can we do with this boat? It was an amazing boat. It was an awesome. It was a great boat.
was a really cool
But they're
boat.
like, "Okay, we got to figure out something to do with this boat. Let's put Hulk Hogan in it." Yeah.
I got to justify to my wife why I bought it.
Right.
And we're gonna make it into a show. Yeah, that's what it is.
I honestly think that like the shows that Hulk Hogan, Tropic Thunder, is kind of like a spinoff of Knight Rider and Baywatch put together.
That's not a bad combination of actually summing up that show.
Yeah.
That's actually pretty good.
All right.
Yeah.
Good job. Good job. I agree with you on that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I see it.
It totally is.
Right?
I see
Yeah.
it. I see it.
And like, but see, okay, I'm gonna throw back here. It always had like a Fall Guy feel to it. I don't know
Yeah.
why.
Yeah.
Because it was like the two guys and the chick. Like it had that trio kind of thing. Dukes of Hazzard. Like,
Yeah.
yeah, they were definitely recapping on some old school shit there.
No,
I'm-
yeah. They had the little launches that the boat would do. Kind
Oh
of.
yeah, so it would jump.
Like Dukes of
Very
Hazzard.
Dukes of Hazzard is.
Yes.
Very Knight Rider-ish, you know.
I had never realized there was that many places. Like that was a big deal when you were boating, that you would have to be careful of that. You might have to jump the boat. I had no idea. That show opened my eyes to that.
Much like Knight Rider realized you could jump a train.
Right, exactly, right?
Exactly.
I do it all the time on GTA. Come on.
yeah. I failed a lot in GTA too.
Yes.
Let me tell you, that train really doesn't stop.
No, it doesn't.
No.
No, it doesn't. All right, who is your Attitude Era faction or tag team?
Right to censor.
Oh, wow.
Okay, you're just gonna go right in there. All right.
Stevie Richards
Yeah.
and
It was-
Ivory?
Yes, it was. So what was cool about it is they were using real life, parroting, real
True,
life, because
yeah.
you did have that, that was it, the Parents Council, whatever it was, that was
Yeah.
really going after them. Which all of a sudden you think about, that's not a thing anymore. It was just then, like, then they went away. Like,
And where were they to go after Nicki Minaj when she put out a song
Right.
called WAP?
Vince McMahon beat them apparently, and now they're gone. But it's like the Parents Television Council or something like
Yeah.
that. And so it was a parody of that, and it was great that they used that. And of course, their heels. I thought that was entertaining.
No, I get you.
thought that was good.
They were good heels because you wanted to hate them because of the fact that there were actual people like that.
Right. Well, and not only that, it actually took some people who were
Dare I say?
in the mid card and actually made them relevant to the whole show.
Definitely.
It really elevated a few people in there.
Dare I say they were the Karens of the Attitude Era?
Yeah, they were.
Like pretty much, right? For those of you who don't know, like
They were.
they were Karens. They would
Yeah.
just come out and complain about
Everything.
everything.
That's true.
Language, wardrobe, everything. Yeah. So like I said, Right to Censor, good group. And like I said, it was Stevie Richards started it, right?
Yeah.
Yes, with those little white socks.
Right. It was him and Ivory and
Molly Holly joined.
Yeah,
Molly
that's right,
Holly.
Molly Holly was there.
Wasn't the Godfather?
Good Father. He became the Good Father.
He became the Good Father. Yeah.
The Good Father.
But I want to
yes.
say there was another dude in there.
There was somebody else, and
bald-headed dude. Was it Tomko?
Tyson Tomko? Yes.
Wasn't he? I want to say it was him with the tattoos on his neck
Yeah.
and a bald head. Because I almost said Albert, but I'm like, no, it wasn't Prince Albert.
it wasn't him.
It was. I want to say it was Tomko. I want to say the five of them were Right to Censor.
Yeah, it was like these guys. That what else were they going to do with them? That put them all together,
Right.
and they did something cool.
Yeah. Well, and the fact that they made the Godfather the Good Father, that was pretty funny.
Right.
Okay, so the stable members, Stephen Richards, Bull Buchanan,
That's who it was. Bull Buchanan.
the Good Father, Val Venus,
Val Venus.
oh, I forgot.
Ivory, and the Cat. But I swear Molly Holly joined towards the end.
I think you're thinking.
Yeah,
Wait,
Molly
didn't
Holly.
they shave her head?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
She was
Oh,
a
and then did she join like, after they had shaved her head? Then she like joined them or something?
Yeah,
I
something
think
like
something.
that.
I think I remember
wasn't she
something about
that
that.
hot blonde?
Or was that CM Punk? Because didn't CM Punk do that too?
CM Punk did
when he
that
started the
to-
Straight Edge Society.
Yes.
That's the dude that.
But
shit his
I,
pants.
like I said, I honestly feel that Molly Holly was a part of
Right to Censor.
Right to Censor.
When
I
you
don't know.
said it, it felt right.
Maybe you're just confusing her with the cat.
I don't know. Maybe.
No, the cat, that was Jerry Lawler's wife, right?
Yes,
Because that was the whole reason Jerry Lawler left, because
Yep.
they fired the cat.
they fired her, so he left in protest, and then eventually he
Came back.
He came
Yeah.
back without her.
I haven't thought about her in a while. I forgot about
I
her.
had forgot about her too.
Well, you
no,
had
I
to.
love how they took Val Venus, who was the porn star,
Right.
and you have the good father now, Sans Hose. Like,
Yeah,
no
exactly.
hose
Who was a
anymore.
pimp. Like that was good. They turned him.
Right.
And it was cool because it was part political, part kind of religious commentary on,
It was kind of a cool thing to have in there, and it was at a time when the whole Attitude Era, they were poking fun at things in real life.
Oh yeah.
True.
You know, Ted Turner, even like
Even
WCW.
with the "Get
they
the
were
F
going-
out" slogan.
Yep.
Yeah.
Everything they were doing, they were.
Well,
It was some pretty cool stuff that the parody on real life that they were doing.
I always remember when they had the Iron Sheik versus Sergeant Slaughter during the Desert Storm shit.
Oh yeah.
And that was like always like, whoa, that's kind of like,
Right.
whoa, I know who I'm rooting for. like he had to because
Yeah.
it was like what was going on in the times. So,
It's a
like,
it's a bold statement, one, because you're going to put the Iraqis versus the U.S., which is going on.
Yeah.
But not only that, you're going to have Sergeant Slaughter, Mr. G.I. Joe himself,
The real life GI Joe.
yeah.
Yep.
become an Iraqi sympathizer.
Yeah.
Oh wow!
That was
I remember when that happened, and it was like, oh. Well, even then,
it was genius though.
when he says he got death threats from that,
Yeah.
like,
I'm sure he did.
it
Yeah.
got intense. I can only imagine. Like,
Oh yeah. That's
wow. And then, of
It's
course,
crazy.
you got to put the real American hero against him, Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, it was beautiful storytelling, using what was going on in the world as a backdrop, but at the same time, man,
That was
very,
really ballsy.
very walking that line of what's acceptable and what's not.
So interesting factoid. Now, this is assuming it's true, but I just listened to recently an interview with Sergeant Slaughter, and he was talking about all of this. And in particular, he was complaining about the Ultimate Warrior being a terrible worker and hurting him in the ring, actually legit beating him up every match.
I've heard of that.
But so Slaughter was feuding with the Ultimate Warrior because Savage was out because Ultimate Warrior had hurt Savage. So when he came back in the whole match where Slaughter won the belt from the Ultimate Warrior, it was after Randy Savage hit him with the scepter.
Right.
At least from what Slaughter is saying, that was a legit hit. Ultimate Warrior was legit out.
Oh,
He was like
he's-
he was out.
Yeah.
So when he pulled him in, dropped the elbow, it was a pin. That was not supposed to be a 3. Apparently, he was not supposed to get the title that night.
Oh wow!
But they like
It was
he didn't,
just-
he didn't kick out.
Right. You don't
He
kick
ended
out,
up-
then you don't kick out.
So he ended up with the title and
Nice.
changed history right there.
Wow, that's crazy. That's a cool little
But
behind the scenes shit.
that was Randy Savage giving his receipts apparently.
All right. I bet you got to hit Ultimate Warrior pretty hard in the head too to knock him out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
He
I mean,
seemed pretty-
assuming that's a true story, but that's what he said. So I thought it was interesting.
Yeah, no, like I said, yeah, the Attitude Era was a great, like I said, don't get me wrong. I'm not
Yeah.
trying to take anything away from it when I'm like, I like 80s wrestling better. It's just that holds a very special place
Well,
in my
yeah.
heart.
Yeah.
But Attitude Era did push. I mean,
Yeah.
I know we're getting totally off subject about it, but we can't help it. You look into like the Edge, Matt Hardy, Lita
the
storyline,
yeah.
where again, what's going on in real life ends up bleeding into the wrestling world.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You know, and freaking they had beef, and so Matt wouldn't shut up about it. So fine, we're gonna write it in the storyline, and now you're gonna have to act it out in front of everybody.
That was when they really started bringing real life into it, and like it was blurring the lines.
Oh,
Because
definitely.
it was, well, even the Shawn Michaels, Bret Hart stuff, like
Yeah.
that was like
Well, I mean, they even brought that back. I want to say that was the 2000s when they finally got them back in the ring together. Like, you know,
Yeah.
but the Montreal Screwjob was definitely a thing where you got to see behind the curtain and what was going on. And like, yeah, Attitude Era, I won't take anything away from it. It had great storylines.
Yeah.
Probably some of the best. I'll go with that.
Yeah.
I won't say it's my favorite, but it probably had some of the best storylines.
Oh yeah.
You know, definitely. I mean, don't get me wrong. You know, the marriage of Macho Man and Miss Elizabeth being interrupted by Jake the Snake and the Undertaker, really good storyline. But some of the real life stuff might have been a little bit better.
Yeah. Good stuff.
She should have married me.
I agree. I agree.
She would still be here.
It's one that you'd have to keep her away from Lex.
Yeah.
That's true.
yeah, Lex was the big problem on that one.
You already said yours, right?
Yes, right to censor.
Okay. So I'm going to go with, as everybody knows, my all-time favorite wrestler is The Undertaker. I'm going to go with Brothers of Destruction.
I knew you would.
Yeah.
Yeah. No.
Fucking just a powerhouse.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You can't go wrong with those two. They're freaking they're monsters. They
Yeah.
really are.
Yeah.
You know, and I loved when they were tag team champs. They dominated. Like, it was great. But ultimately, every time they ended up teaming up, they'd end up breaking up.
Yeah.
You know, except I think the last time was the only time they like rode off into the sunset together and were cool, and then just. But
Well, they're the perfect opponents.
right.
You know, not to mention, I mean, tag team partners, but also the perfect opponents for each other.
Oh yes, that's why that was okay. I'm gonna make a statement. It's a bold statement, but I'm gonna make it. Undertaker was not who he was. Kane would not have become who he was.
Oh, 100%.
Yeah.
But at the same time, Undertaker needed that Kane opponent,
Yeah.
or he wouldn't have lasted either. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you needed to have somebody who could come in and actually wreck him.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So they were symbiotic. That their rise to stardom, they needed each other. Ultimately, if one of them would have existed without the other, they would not. Undertaker would not have done 30 years.
Yeah.
You know, so that's just my personal opinion.
Not as the Undertaker, anyway.
Right, not as the
Not
Undertaker.
he would. Something would have had to change.
And I honestly don't. I wouldn't have been able to see Mark Calloway portray any other character outside of the Undertaker.
Well, we kind of did when he did like American Badass.
Right, but he was still Undertaker. He just
Right.
wasn't the old school that we were used to or that we were introduced to. You know, he still had that persona. It was just a different version.
Well, I think what I did not like the American Badass portrayal only because it was in the WWE, and that's where he is the dead man.
Right.
So it's to me that it made no sense. Now, had he jumped ship and gone to WCW and done the American Badass gimmick, totally would have worked.
Okay, I get you.
You know what I
I
mean?
will
Because
admit that
it needed a
that did
change
seem
of
out of place.
It just seemed so inconsistent. So I wasn't a fan of that just because of the inconsistency of it. Not to say he did it poorly. It just he's still the Undertaker. Like, he's alive now? Like, oh, he was the dead man. Now he's actually not. And so to me, it was too big of a change in the gimmick,
Right.
without really changing him. So I think if he had jumped ship and had gone to WCW, it would have made more sense.
True. I think what they were thinking at the time was that the character of the Undertaker in the dark and being the undead, they realized that people weren't buying into that anymore. You know,
that's probably true,
And so
yeah.
they were like, we need to rebrand him. And I think Mark wanted to go more the biker because it was more his actual persona.
I think that probably actually had even more to do with it.
Right.
Him wanting to do something different.
Right. And then I think eventually he was just like, no, I got to go back to it, you know, but I'm going to do a different version of it. And he lost all the other stuff and just went with the jacket and the hat, you know, and lost the tie and the gloves although that was my favorite Undertaker.
Yeah.
With the vest and
Yeah.
the sleeves ripped and
Yeah.
the gray gloves or the purple gloves, you know, that was my favorite Undertaker.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You know what changed it, I think, for him was once Paul Bear passed away. Like, okay, when he was around, he didn't have to talk. He just was just there.
Right. Very minimal.
Like had just like a one-liner, like a cameo and a
Rest in peace.
yeah, that was it. And you're like, oh shit, that's how
Yeah.
he sounds. Fuck, and I
Yeah,
get the
'cause that's
chills,
all-
and then it's dark. You know?
Yeah.
And so Paul Bear would go over and be like, oh, this guy is fucking scary as fuck. Get the fuck out of here.
I would love to hear Paul Bear do a promo like that. That would have been awesome.
You know? So, you
Paul
know,
Bearer was a big part of that.
Yeah,
of getting it, of really getting it over.
Yeah.
Right.
yeah.
Well,
He's like one of my favorite
Right.
managers, character managers.
Right.
You know, that it's just so he's his own character, you know.
right. No, that was we know we've talked about it before, but I always think it's cool that he was an actual mortician. Like that to me is so awesome. Like
Yeah.
this dude was actually a pallbearer. Like, yeah, that's fucking perfect.
But how cool would it have been if Mark Calloway had jumped ship to WCW, done the American Badass, and actually went in there as a face to take out the NWO?
I'm sure that Eric Bischoff probably pitched that to him.
I mean, how awesome would that have been?
That would have been awesome.
You know,
to be
that
the
would have
wrecking
been-
crew that comes in and just demolishes them.
Instead of the lame Sting thing coming from the ceiling with the baseball bat type of thing.
Yeah.
Because I hated that. I didn't like the whole thing. But if the Undertaker had been there, Mark Calloway, Mark Callis, he can take back that name. Mark Callis comes back
Right.
on the bike, goes in there, and he just starts he leads WCW back from the NWO.
They may have won the war if they did that.
Right?
That would have totally swung it. That would have totally swung it,
would have
dude.
been- it would have been
Undertaker
massive.
fans would have fucking switched over to WCW to watch him,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Channels would have
especially
been
to
changing.
watch him come over and demolish him.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not feeling that one?
No.
No, I don't know. I think it would have been interesting to see the Undertaker versus Hogan, with Hogan as the heel in that one. You know, because it would have been completely
That would have been pretty
different.
good.
There's so many ways they could have done that, but now the roles were reversed.
Right.
You know.
No, I agree. I think it would have been that would have been a cool storyline.
You know. Yeah.
I mean, they could have done it when we had the WCW ECW invasion, and it instead of it being The Rock versus Hogan, it could have been Taker versus Hogan, in a sense.
although The Rock versus Hogan was a good match. That was
and
good.
I'm not going to take that away from him. It was a freaking phenomenal storyline. It was a phenomenal match. But what would have happened if it was Undertaker and Hogan? You guys are talking about what could have happened in
Yeah,
WCW.
but we'd already seen Undertaker versus Hogan,
It was Summer Bash.
and Undertaker beat him. No, at WrestleMania,
Oh.
he was one of the ones that got a coffin.
Yeah.
So I mean that's why it wouldn't have worked over on our side. It would have worked because he was crossing over.
I think
You know
that's,
what I
I think
mean?
that's why, and it would have explained why now he's not the dead man anymore.
Yeah.
Could you imagine the commentary too? Because you still had Heenan on commentary for some of that as well.
Yeah.
Some people come back from the dead. Like the little things they
Right.
could have done to dig and reference that he was the Undertaker, but not anymore.
No,
now
I-
he's Mark Callis.
like I
He's
said, it would have
risen
been- it
back.
would have-
There's so many cool things they could have done with that.
Yeah.
That would have possibly swung the war in a different way if that would have happened.
I think it could have, but Undertaker was WWE for life at that point.
Oh yeah, he's always been a WWE dude once he got there.
Yeah.
I think because
Which I appreciate the loyalty on that.
Oh, yeah.
I appreciate someone who's that loyal.
no, I agree. But that Taker, gimmick is what made him everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. It would have meant so much more than the whole Bret Hart going over.
Oh yeah,
That
they
didn't really
misused
mean-
him so bad.
Yeah, that was just, it ended up being so anticlimactic. It's like no one cared.
Yep.
Did he go over just because of like contract shit?
Yeah, because
Is
they paid him more money. They offered him more money, and
Because
Well, Vince
and
told him to go see. So Vince was paying him an outrageous amount of money, like outrageous. And then Vince said, "Look, I can't afford to pay that anymore. Go see what WCW will offer." Basically, because I think he just knew he needed a change of pace, and Brett just wasn't going to let him do it. So sent him over. They gave him an offer. He said, "Okay, take the offer." Brett actually didn't want to go. He wanted to stay in WCW or WWE, but ended up having to take the offer. But then he didn't want to.
Do
he
the
didn't want to
job.
do the job, at least not in Canada, for Shawn Michaels.
I think if it would have been anybody else but Shawn, he probably would have.
I think so,
because
too.
he's a professional, but he had issues with Shawn and
He
didn't
did.
want him to be the champ.
Yeah, and they
Yeah.
were just like, well, no, it had to be Shawn and stuff, and that's what caused the whole issue. But
Yep.
he was going. He went over there, and of course they did pay him a lot of money to go.
But they just didn't use him.
Yeah. You see, I wonder how much of that is Brett's fault.
So he's like a DH.
I don't know.
You know,
Kind of, yeah. He only plays every fourth game.
Yeah.
But see, I think obviously Brett was difficult to deal with, but I think Vince sometimes knows just how to work with those who are difficult and get them to do something and get them to
Yeah.
get them to work.
Yeah.
Whereas Bischoff maybe not
Not as much
not
to
as
convince
much.
him.
If they're being difficult, it's just like, okay, well, what can I do with you then?
Right.
Where Vince kind of knew how to still push the right buttons to get him to do things. Maybe.
I think it's different too because Vince is the owner. Bischoff was just the president, like you know what I mean?
The mouthpiece,
Right.
The representative,
Right. So he wasn't.
That's true.
Whereas I'm talking to the owner of the company, who's telling me this is what I'm going to do.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm going to listen to him. I'm going to do it.
Yeah,
He's
that
the,
could
he
definitely make a
literally
difference.
is the guy who signs my paychecks.
Yeah.
Bischoff is just the guy who is in charge of me. I got to think that's got to sway.
I would think so too. Yeah.
Craziness.
All right. Sorry. Again, I know wrestling, you can go everywhere. Just gets off on tangents. All right, back to the 90s Attitude Tag Team Factions.
So I'm gonna kind of go off of a list that I got 10 greatest tag teams of the Attitude Era.
We give him a thumbs up or a thumbs down if we agree.
This is going to be some honorable mentions before we get into the actual list. Test and Albert. I wasn't a huge fan of them, but the only thing that I did like about them is that was kind of like
Trish.
the push for for Trish. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was a
The other thing I
huge
like.
push for Trish. I think that was the only good thing about that
And
tag team.
she did finesse her wrestling skills during that time
Yes.
when
Yeah.
she was managing them as opposed to and
Yes.
doing her bra and panties matches and stuff that were horrible. She actually learned to wrestle and she did quite well after that.
She was a blonde, right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Which she's back in WWE right now, which is kind of cool.
What?
Yes.
No, I thought she got arrested.
No, that was Sunny.
Oh yeah, different blonde.
Yeah.
Oh, that blonde.
Yeah,
Yes.
sorry.
Yeah. No, I wasn't a TNA fan either.
Yeah.
Like,
What?
no.
Yeah.
I love boobs and
No.
and
Test and Albert.
Oh,
Yes. The next one, which one of the members of this next tag team, I'm pretty sad that he passed away. That is Crash and Hardcore Holly. I thought Crash was freaking awesome.
Yeah. He
You
was,
know, always
he was
walking around with the freaking
the scale.
scale. Yeah.
I thought I liked
Yeah.
him better than Bob Holly myself.
Oh,
I
yeah.
thought he was. I was a fan of Crash. I thought he was fantastic.
Yeah.
We mentioned them in the last podcast, and I got to do it again. You mean Bob Sparkplug Holly?
Yeah, that's right.
That'll never get old. I always like calling him Sparkplug.
Next, we've got the Headbangers.
Oh, Thrash and
Mosh.
Mosh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mosh and Thrash. I think it was. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't believe they're the honorable mentions. They were okay.
Yeah. Well, and I'm going to guess that's why they're the honorable mentions.
Yeah,
portion.
but I don't know. I guess I got to see who's in their top list before I can say if their honorable mentions were worth being mentioned. If there was somebody that left out.
The next one is the Radicals.
The Radicals, I'll give that. That was a good stable, man. Eddie Guerrero, Dean Malenko, Chris
I'm
Benoit.
surprised though that's only
Okay.
an honorable mention though.
Yeah,
because
Perry
Well,
Saturn.
just wait until we get into the actual top
Right.
10.
Well, I'm only thinking as far as impact in that era.
Right, Radicals were
them
major.
Moving over was huge.
Yeah.
And then of course
That was the Kevin Nash, Scott Hall equivalent.
Right,
Of
that was-
taking four of their.
exactly
Stable
and then
people
seeing
and-
where that went. And of course, some tragic endings on for some of them. But
Yeah.
at the time it was
Everybody loved Dean.
That was big. you
Well,
know.
and Perry.
Dude, he did not end up very good either.
Oh, well, yeah. Yeah.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, yeah, then
He's
freaking.
still alive, but you know.
The last in the honorable mentions is Right to Censor.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh, just an honorable mention.
Yeah.
No, that's
Yeah. All right. So
well,
we're
but
gonna,
they were solidly mid carders.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
So,
Right.
I mean, it makes sense.
Yeah. So number 10, Too Cool.
Oh,
Yeah,
Too Cool was
I
freaking
like
awesome.
Too
I
Cool.
love me some Too Cool. That
Yeah,
was,
Scotty Too Hottie doing the worm.
Yes,
you know,
Grandmaster
quiche.
Sexy.
Yeah, the quiche.
The quiche.
Yeah.
Yes.
I've met Grandmaster. He's, God rest his soul, awesome dude.
Yeah.
Really cool.
I like quiche.
Freaking Scotty Too Hottie. Yeah, dude. Like that was
Yeah.
that was a good tag team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Stink Face coming in.
Yeah,
That was
the worm.
Right.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
He had the hip hop drop from the top.
Yeah.
Like, yeah, when he'd climb up there and then he'd put his goggles on
Yeah.
because he was so high up, he needed his goggles. Like that shit was great. And
Yeah.
then they all dance at the end. Like
Yep. That was great. I love that. That was fantastic.
I actually saw a clip the other day, popped up on my Facebook, and it was Rikishi and Shokishi when Big Show was doing all the different impersonations.
Oh yeah.
And he came out as Shokishi, and he had on the same outfit. And at the end of they tag teamed. And at the end of it, Rikishi put the sunglasses on him, and the two of them danced.
Yeah.
That was pretty funny.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Number 9, and I'm kind of bummed that this tag team didn't last that long. The 2-man power trip. You guys don't know the 2-man power trip?
I'm blanking on
Triple H and Stone Cold Steve Austin.
I remember they won the belts together. I didn't realize that they had a tag team
They
name.
were, yeah.
See, I would have made them an honorable mention.
Yeah. See, that's I'm not a fan of putting like your top tier singles wrestlers in a tag team and then having them win the belts.
So like Rock and Sock Connection.
Yeah.
Weren't a fan of that.
No, I was a fan of the entertainment behind it, but not actually contending for the belts.
Yeah.
Because to me, there's otherwise. Why have someone in a tag team? You can just have anybody just get together and they're in a tag team and they can win those 2 belts.
Yeah.
That's how I felt the tag team division in WWE has been for a while.
Yeah.
I'll give it now. Right now, they're doing much more with it,
Right. It's so
making
much
it
better.
more important. But there was a long stretch there where tag team freaking fell to the side. It was not the focal point.
Yeah.
Right.
And
I
it was
want-
just random people.
Yeah.
And this is
I
like,
wanna say
again,
that- that's
Rock
what
and
two-
Sock, 2 men.
Right.
What
You
what
gotta
the
have
hell?
2-man power trip.
Yeah,
I
them.
want a tag team to win. And to me, a tag team, even if you took like, Too Cool, even for instance, okay? Either one of them versus either Triple H or Steve Austin, we know which way it's going to go, right?
Right.
In a singles match, but in a tag team match, this is a tag team. These guys know each other. They polish their teamwork. That should have the advantage over just 2 guys getting together.
I agree.
Yeah.
Even if they're the 2 top guys in the company getting together. You've got otherwise
You
you
can have them go
devalue your
over,
tag
but
team.
you got to have them go over the right way. They got to cheat. They got to get luck. Something. Some other team comes down and interferes on their behalf.
Some way to not devalue the
tag team.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah. Number 8, like I said, when I chose my favorite, Brothers of Destruction.
Okay.
Yeah.
They deserve to definitely be in the top 10. I would probably move them up a little bit, but
Yeah.
definitely top 10. Yes.
It's kind of funny that you're saying that you didn't like the whole, Rock and Sock Connection, that type of stuff. Rock and Sock Connection is number 7.
See,
Well, see, I'm okay with them like teaming because it was entertaining.
Yeah.
As long as they're not like, I would have loved to see the Rock and Sock Connection versus Triple H and Steve Austin.
now that would be a solid match.
Yeah.
See, that would be good, just not for the tag team title.
Right.
Yeah.
I agree
So-
with you. You're not against 2 guys teaming up to take on 2 other guys. You're just opposed for them taking the belts.
Yeah.
Right.
Unless it's going to be a new thing.
Right.
Like obviously, if they're just forming, then all of a sudden now a couple weeks later now they've got matching outfits and theme song and like they're a name and
Right.
all right, now they're a freaking tag team.
Yeah. Right.
Now they are in tag team contentionship.
Yes. There should be at least the illusion that a tag team has been working together long enough that they have risen the ranks in the tag team division to earn a title shot.
I get you.
I
get
like
you.
that.
Yeah.
That is better. Did you, God, what was it? 1, 2, 3 Kid when he first came out? He was just like starting out, and then he started tag teaming with people, and I liked that just because it felt like the underdog you're established wrestler, but I'm just an underdog, dude. Let's do this. I'm there. Like I like that look, and I mean, no one's ever done that again, like that, pulling the fan out and making the fan a wrestler.
Yeah, I mean, I liked that storyline around
Right.
it.
Yeah.
That was good. Yeah, because you get that kind of that mentor-mentee type of relationship
Yeah.
with them.
Yeah, no, I get that. Kind of like Alpha Academy.
Yeah,
You know, with what's his name, Gable recruiting
Otis.
Otis. You know,
yeah.
like, come on, man. I'll teach you how to be fit and this and that. And okay, like, if there's a storyline to put them together so that it makes them a team, cool.
Yes.
But the random just, these guys are pissing me off. I need a tag team partner. Cool, I'll be your partner. All right, cool. And they go out and win the belts.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I get you.
Yeah.
All right, number 6, and this has to go with your.
The X,
It's not DX.
New Age Outlaws.
Yes.
Oh, you didn't know?
Your ass better call somebody.
Yes,
Hell yeah.
the New Age Outlaws is number 6.
Dude,
Freaking phenomenal tag team.
I loved the New Age Outlaws.
Yeah, they were a great tag team for the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Definitely hardcore. Like Mr. Ass. I mean, shit, he's still competing.
Yeah.
And
Isn't
Road
he
Dogg.
like in his late 50s, early 60s, and he's still fucking killing it?
Yeah.
He looks he looks in better shape than he ever
oh,
did.
yeah.
I mean, he looks
His one
incredible.
son, though, man, dead fucking ringer for him when he was younger.
Yes.
Like the one
Yeah.
just fucking looks just like him. You can see him in both of them.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
But the one is just like, dude, if they ever make a movie about your dad, you need to play him when he's younger.
Yes. Yes.
Like, yeah, no. Badass Billy Gunn, Road Dogg Jesse James, man. Great.
You know what I loved about that team is so many tag teams are two wrestlers that had a similar style, and so they blended well, or wearing the same type of outfit. With the New Age Outlaws, they were a team, but you had two very different styles between the two wrestlers.
Oh, yeah.
And
Oh,
they
yeah.
they wore different things to the ring, but they were still an established team.
Right.
But they had their own thing going at the same time, which
No, I
was
get you.
really cool. I only 6, like
Yeah.
only ranked 6 on that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See, that seems.
I would have moved them up some too.
Oh yeah.
Okay, so
yeah.
then the next one, and I'm gonna tell a little story about this before I announce who it is.
All right.
So Tony, when me and you used to work at the nightclub together, well, not together, but when we worked at the nightclub, there was I'm gonna guess a pay-per-view or something in the local area. I'm gonna guess at the Arrowhead Pond
Okay.
at that time.
The Honda's on
And a whole bunch of wrestlers were coming into the nightclub.
it. Okay.
One of the tag teams is is number 5 in this list, and that is APA.
Oh, yeah.
got
Farouk
to
and Bradshaw.
meet both of them. Freaking nice guys. They were looking for a country bar, thinking that the club that we worked at was a country bar, and at the
It
time,
used to
back
be.
in the day, it was.
It was.
But a bunch of wrestlers just showed up just to have a good time and everything. And yeah, I got to have a little chat with APA.
That's fucking cool, man.
Nice guys, super nice guys.
Yeah, dude. Farouk, Ron Simmons, and Bradshaw.
Yeah.
What was he before? He was.
Justin Hawk Bradshaw.
That's right. I forgot.
and then he
Justin
became
Hawk.
the acolyte, one of the
Yeah,
acolytes.
Yep.
exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was definitely a good redemption for him.
I liked them when they were APA.
Yeah.
And they'd sit in the back and just drink beer and gamble and smoke cigars, and then somebody would come back and like give them some money, and they'd go out and beat somebody up. Good fucking
Yeah.
good times. I like those guys.
Or when they would go into the bar and just destroy the bar.
Hell yeah.
Do you guys know that bar was owned by a referee in
Yes.
WWE?
Yes.
And
So I
they
do
allowed
remember.
him to. They allowed them to use. If they wanted to remodel, hey, have APA come in and destroy the place just so that we can remodel.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah.
I can't remember which referee it was, but
One of the twins.
actually no, I can picture him. It was the I can't remember his name though. He was the shorter guy, little bit of weight on him, but he had
Wasn't Tim White?
I was just
Yes,
going to say
yes,
Tim White.
Tim
yeah.
White. Yes.
That's
yes.
who I thought it
Dark
was.
hair. Had
Yeah.
beard, mustache.
Yeah.
Him.
He was
Yes,
Andre
yeah.
the Giant's handler.
Yes, that was
Yeah.
him. He was the one that. Yeah, he's the one that owned the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, Tim White.
Yeah,
So
that's-
cool.
That's
So
interesting.
cool.
Well, and so many people forget because if they just became fans during the Attitude Era, they forget Ron Simmons was the first world champion, black world
Right.
champion ever.
Yeah.
Winning the WCW belt back in the day, and had already been part of other big tag teams, like part of Doom,
Well-
even, which was another. I actually liked Doom. I may
Yeah.
have been in the minority there, but I thought they were a great team.
Well, you've also got Nation of Domination.
Yes, Nation Domination.
nation.
A domination. Yeah.
Without
Oh,
which
wow.
The Rock may never have become The Rock.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
So-
because he wasn't going to make it as Rocky Maivia, the Islander.
No.
Sorry. Hi, Chief. You could rock it. Rocky, not so much.
Right.
Mahalo?
So, yeah, no, without the Nation. I mean, there was a lot born out of there. D'Lo Brown,
Yep.
Yeah.
he that helped him out.
Yep.
Wasn't the Godfather in that too?
Yeah.
Godfather.
For a
Yeah.
little bit, like again, making him relevant.
Yep.
I mean, dude, he's been all over the place. To be honest, he was Papa Shango, he was
Papa
Kama,
Shango.
Yeah.
he was he went both as Kama and then Kama Mustafa.
Yeah.
Ooh, say it
He
again.
was the good father.
Say it again.
He was the Godfather. He was the good father. Like that
Yeah.
dude had quite a few personas
Yes.
to
Yeah.
constantly stay in the business.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
I personally was a Papa Shango fan.
Yeah, I was
I'm
going to
just
say,
saying.
I was just about to
Yeah.
say, it was really cool.
But yeah, no, Nation of Domination. That's another
those-
great faction of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
What was it? Was it DX that made fun of them?
Yes.
Yes.
God, man. I remember I was just a kid,
The
right?
Croc.
And and when he asked, they asked him, he's like, so who are you supposed to be? Or what? God, fuck, I forgot the line he says. And he's like, I don't smell shit? Or something like that. God, I forgot the line. I'm sorry. This is the
Yeah,
one
no, that was
that
that
was
that
very
probably wouldn't
racy.
fly today.
Yeah, very
No.
racy.
You know,
Oh no! They could not do that. No.
Yeah.
No, none of it.
but that was definitely a humorous moment for it.
Yeah.
I forget who was it Sean who played Owen?
What? 1, 2, 3
Yes.
kid
Oh,
play.
Yeah.
That one got me the best, dude, because he's just running around with that big fake nose on him.
Okay, yeah, that was pretty good.
Oh yeah.
But okay, but was it was X-Pac that was like the
Oh, he was Mark Henry,
he had the
Yeah.
giant,
and he had all the
fat suit.
the fat suit on. Yeah,
Oh my
Yep.
God.
That
yeah.
was the one I was like, oh shit,
Such good times.
man, you guys can do that on television.
Like I said,
I
that
was just a kid, you know?
only in the '90s, bro.
Yeah,
only
I mean-
in the '90s.
I mean, they did that just shy of blackface, like that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
just
Yeah.
They didn't go quite there, but it was pretty darn close.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like they would not do that today. WWE would be like, nope, censors, nope.
no, not even pay-per-view. No, wait, no, I don't care.
All right, we're in the
so
top 5 now,
Premium
right?
event.
Yeah, so
Premium
we're
event. Exactly.
we're number 4,
Hours.
and to me, this tag team solidified the Attitude Era tag team division. One of the tag teams, you know,
The Hardy Boys.
no, the Dudley Boys
Ooh, okay,
yes.
is number 4.
okay. Well, I had
Yeah.
2 out of the 3 words right.
Yeah,
The and boys. I was close.
yeah.
Now,
Freaking-
but see, now you're gonna get Moolah and Mae Young in there now.
Yeah.
So they
Yeah.
like you-
Dudley Boys, holy crap! Freaking, they always put
Probably
on,
one of the most decorated tag teams.
yeah, they always
ever.
put on a phenomenal match, whatever it
Dude,
was.
they held gold everywhere they went.
Yeah.
EC Dub, WC Dub, freaking New Japan, like
Well, what-
pretty
were
much
they the
anywhere
only-
they went.
were they really the only truly truly able to succeed and like excel after ECW? The only wrestlers that really were able to take their gimmick from ECW, take it to WWE, and make it even bigger. I don't think anybody else did they? Not that I can think of. Everybody else had to make some kind of a change. Not to say there weren't stars that came over because you could argue Steve Austin to a degree.
Yeah.
because he
Right.
had developed
Eddie
that over there.
Guerrero.
Well, he cut his hair, right?
But I don't know.
That's a big
Just to
change.
come back
Because
like, with-
Guerrero, when he was over there, he did the Puerto Rican with the vest. That was very similar to Latino Heat. You know,
yeah, I don't know. You just don't think of him as an ECW guy, but the
True.
Dudleys you think of as ECW guys, but they
Yeah,
came
yeah,
over and they just,
no,
they-
like I said,
you still think of them as ECW guys, but they went and dominated in WWE.
yeah, no, they do. They dominated everywhere they
Yeah.
went. Like I said, they're. I gotta think they're probably hold the most tag team titles
Yeah.
in the most companies. Like I gotta think they're the ones.
They got to be up there at least, yeah.
Yeah, because they gotta think they've held every tag team title at any company they've ever gone to.
The only other ones I can think of that maybe would be, well, I mean, obviously the Road Warriors, but I don't think they went to as many. But Steiner Brothers too. Back in the day,
maybe.
they did a bunch.
Yeah, maybe.
But,
But I still gotta think that the Dudleys are more decorated.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I gotta go in my heart. But yeah, dude, they had battles with everybody.
Oh yeah.
Everybody. they
Some
feuded
phenomenal
with.
matches.
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah. They introduced the table matches to the WWE universe.
Yeah.
yes.
You know.
for good or bad. they
Yeah.
did.
No,
And
definitely.
the fact that at some point they had Stacy Keebler a part of their team.
oh yeah.
You
Shoot.
know,
Oh,
with
I
Spike Dudley.
I forgot all about that, but yeah, they
Yeah.
Spike. Little Spike. That guy's crazy, man. Motherfucker. Yeah, I'm gonna pick you up and I'm gonna throw you from the ring over the guardrails into the crowd. And he's like, okay.
Yeah.
Or I'm just going to choke slam you over the top rope
To the
onto
cement.
the floor.
Yeah.
Like, and he's like, "Oh, yeah, let's do it. Like,
I don't know. Undertaker on TV. I might take that bump once.
Yeah.
I know he took it
you may-
more than that.
You may not be able to take it more than once.
So that is very true. Dude,
I don't think I
one
would.
one and done type of guy.
I've taken a bump. I've taken a bump over the top rope to concrete,
Yeah.
and it hurts.
I
And that
would've-
wasn't even a choke slam. It was a back body drop.
I would
like
imagine.
over the top.
I would imagine.
And yeah, that shit hurts. No padding, no nothing.
I think it's supposed to.
Yeah.
it's
There's
supposed
no there's no good way to land that. I hate to say this. Everybody's like, "Oh, cool, he landed on his back. He's good." No. Doesn't matter how
Yeah.
you land. That one hurts.
Yeah.
Dude, I tripped the other day, and I'm only 5'10", and I fell 5'10". That hurt pretty bad.
Well, we'll work on that.
Are you kidding? I walked over uneven sidewalk. There was a 2-inch dip, and I didn't realize it. And I was like, "Oh my gosh!" I felt like I was wrecked for a second.
Yeah.
All right, number 3.
Ooh, top 3.
Top 3. Number 3, the Hardy Boys.
Oh yeah, the Hardy Boys.
Yep.
Definitely a definitive tag team of the
Yeah.
Attitude Era.
Team
Yeah.
Extreme.
Now-
You know.
And they,
Ain't gonna lie, I did like them when they came out with Gangrel and the Brood.
Yeah.
Not as much as ENC, which I'm figuring is going to be higher up this list.
Mm-hmm.
But I did like them when they first came out that way.
Yeah.
yeah.
I was a Hardy Boy fan from the get go.
Yeah.
Yes. Yep.
Freaking phenomenal tag team. You know.
It-
And again, the same
That
with
became somewhat of a faction when they added Lita.
Yeah, Team Extreme. They're in the same level as the Dudley Boys.
Oh, definitely.
You know, putting on phenomenal matches. You know,
Yeah,
breaking up, fighting each other, coming back together. You know,
Another highly decorated tag team that won WWE, WCW,
yeah,
Ring of Honor, New Japan. Like, yeah, they've been around and won golds in a lot of places too.
yeah,
Yes. Unfortunately, we probably would have been better had Jeff Hardy been able to keep his demons at bay a little bit better. I think they could have even gone much farther
Oh, yeah.
than even what they did, which is still considerable.
yeah.
I mean,
he took a break, right? He took a long break.
I think it was forced.
yeah. Well,
Yeah, that's what I was. I know. That's, I didn't know how to word that.
well, they also
He's
I want
on
to say they've
vacation.
won TNA Gold. They've
Yeah.
won.
Yeah.
Have they won AEW together? No,
I
not
don't
yet.
believe
no.
so.
No, they haven't been able to be a team
Be a team long enough.
there.
Yeah, right.
But they're back together again.
So I gotta think
maybe
they're that's probably one of the ones they want to win too.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would think so.
So
All right. So number 2,
Drum roll, yeah.
DX.
ooh, nice.
And it's
That's how we do,
Shawn
boys.
Michaels and Triple H DX.
Okay,
Not,
Yeah.
you
I'm
know,
okay with that.
Yeah.
Not all of them, just
Not the huge
yeah,
faction. you
when
know.
they came back in the later '90s.
Yeah.
It was interesting to see them come together like that.
I gotta say, those guys together
Yeah. I
cut
mean,
some of the funniest promos in that era.
It just wasn't controversial enough.
Exactly, the controversial one where he super kicks everybody, or the one where Sean's freaking roasting his hot dogs at the cookout. Like, dude, they had some funny skits.
Stuff that they couldn't do now.
yeah,
you know.
dude, the green slime when they slimed Spirit Squad.
Yeah.
Dude, that was great. Like they cut funny promos. Even then, we go back a little bit further. Probably my favorite one, the Monday Night Raw one, where they said the 7 words they couldn't say before this time, and they wanted to apologize for it.
Yeah.
And, dude, that was a great skit. Like they were great at being comedy heels.
Well, I
Yeah.
think part of it too is because they're real life friends. They're close friends, so they had that natural chemistry. And that it just kind of, you could just see it. Even some of the stuff, the funny stuff was even some things that they weren't even saying anything.
Right.
You know, someone else is cutting a promo and they're sitting there leaning over the ropes from the ring, looking out, and they just look at each other and then look back at him like the shocked faces, like, like back and
Yeah.
forth. Like that was just like so mocking and hilarious. The way they would do that stuff was
Yeah.
just, you know, you just couldn't help but laugh.
What about when they Sean wrestled Triple H, and he knocked him down, and then Triple H starts running, and he bounces off the ropes, bounces off the ropes, bounces off the ropes like 5 times, and then finally does like a little splash, and he won it, and he won the belt,
Yeah.
straight off of Sean, but like hilarious. Like they had some of the best comedy moments.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Up there with, and I'm gonna say it, Stone Cold and Kurt Angle.
Oh my
They
god.
had some comedy gold.
Oh yeah.
That stuff was freaking hilarious.
Yes, I will. You know, I'll
Kurt
give
Angle
it
and the little
those.
cowboy hat.
Oh my God, I'll
Oh.
never forget that when he popped up on the screen wearing that thing. I remember laughing and like tears coming out of my eyes. I'm like, that is so fucking ridiculous that this
Yeah.
guy's wearing this. It was fantastic. It was amazing.
I didn't know if that was real when I was like, do you, man? Because the hat was obviously small.
It was, I think, so I heard a part of the story on that is that Steve Austin had been in an airport and he saw that little hat there and he thought, Angle will wear it. And he bought the hat and brought it to the show. And so it was unplanned before that. And they just, like, he was on his way to Raw and they were going to go do it. And so they did that. And there were some things. Now, what I'd be interested to know is, did Vince know, or did even Angle know exactly what was in the box? You know, because he's handing out hats, right? So he has
Yeah.
the Angle. Did he know beforehand? Did
his.
Vince know? I've seen one little skit where Angle, because it was of course after he's got the bald head, right?
Right.
And he's wearing his
headpiece?
the headpiece, and he's got the wig on, right? And you got the Undertaker sitting there next to him, and the Undertaker looks over, sees it,
Yeah.
and then does a double take and looks back at it like, what
the fuck is on your head?
Wig? And then he goes, okay, and he goes back to like, he doesn't acknowledge it other than like, look, like what in
Yeah.
the world?
Now
Oh,
can't
yeah.
stop staring at it. You
Right.
know.
Like that kind of stuff is just so freaking hilarious. Kurt Angle was, man, such a
Yeah.
talent. Like who knew he was going to be that funny?
Exactly.
You know?
No, definitely. It was a nice change from his
Gold medal.
triple eyes and the integrity and
Right.
intensity, and like it was
That
cool
was
to
from the
see
gold medal.
him. Yeah, it was cool to see a different side of him that could poke fun at him, and you know,
Right.
definitely, yeah.
It was a great mixture of he's poking fun at himself, but not acknowledging that he is.
Right, like he doesn't. Like, he
He's
pretends like he
he's-
doesn't know.
He's unaware that
Yeah.
that he's making fun of himself in a way. It was really great. But they did introduce him very well. Like you can't have that guy come in with the Olympic gold medal, so he's going to be the face.
Nice,
and
yeah.
everybody's going to boo him anyway.
Right.
So you have to have him come in as the heel and bragging about it. It was
Yeah.
the greatest way to
Oh, yeah.
introduce him the biggest favor they could have done for him is that way, and then he just took the ball and ran with it.
Oh, definitely. I liked Angle. Okay, take that back. I didn't like Angle back then,
Right.
but now looking at what he did and everything is like, oh man, yeah, and
Yeah.
I was afraid he was going to be like a Logan Paul back then. He was just going to come in from the outside world.
Yeah.
But dude, no, he became fully engulfed in
Sorry.
fully engulfed in the world and became a pro wrestler. And
Yeah.
dude, he was a great one. So yeah, definitely. But like I said, DX to me had some of the funniest promos.
Yeah.
Great rivalries. They were able to go with everybody. Like definitely. Back to one of their favorite sketches. You got to go back to when they made fun of the corporation.
Yeah.
And Triple H was Vince and Shawn was Shane. Dude, that was hysterical. That was another great comedy skit. All right, so who's next? We got number one.
Number one.
Number
Okay,
one.
wait.
Number one. What is? Hold on, we got to guess at this. What?
Yeah.
What, hold on. What?
Dude, I
Has to
gotta
be
go
the-
with Edge and Christian.
All right. You say Edge and Christian. What about you?
Because they're not on there yet.
They're
and they
not.
were up there with the Dudleys, the Hardys. Like, I gotta think.
See now, where are those two female wrestlers that would tag team? Oh wait, what are we talking about?
Attitude Era factions or tag teams.
Sorry, I got lost in the thought.
In the Matrix?
No, the thought.
I think this list in particular is dealing with tag teams. I think.
Yeah.
No. Yeah. Who I think it is?
Yeah.
I have no idea because I'm like I felt like we covered all the ones that.
Exactly. That's why I gotta go with Edge and Christian.
Okay, what do you think?
Or maybe
Edge-
the Brood.
so
Like the
Edge and-
Brood as a whole.
No, because I don't think they're conclude. I as much as he probably deserves to be there, I don't think they'd include Gangrel in that. So probably Edge and Christian. So that's a good one. I just wouldn't have thought they'd have ranked as high as number one.
Right.
Is my only thinking. So them, but now I'm going to go with one that's not a tag team really. I guess I've got this list. I think is dealing with tag teams.
Right, but even then they put
then-
Rock and Sock and that
They
on
did.
there, so maybe it could
don't
be
know.
somebody we're not thinking of that they put together.
The McMahons.
Oh, the McMahons.
Ooh, Vince and
They were
Vince and Shane.
they were the heels. They were the heels. The heels.
Yeah.
We hated them.
So I don't know. I'm
All
going
right.
to say the McMahons.
It's a-
I have a feeling I'm wrong, but I'm going to say the McMahons.
It's
Okay.
like
All right.
when you get to fight Big Brother. That's what that was.
Yeah.
All right.
Exactly.
So the number one on this list, and this is just a generic list. This isn't really coming from WWE or anything. But the number one tag team on this list. Before I tell you, you got to give me a 5-second pose.
Oh yeah.
It is Edge and Christian.
nice.
I figured they had to be.
Yeah.
I was like, it has got to be, man. There's nobody else I could think of that would be worthy of that.
Yeah.
And are they worthy of it? Yeah, it's questionable.
I would put Dudley's before Edge and Christian.
I kind of agree with you because
Only
without
'cause
the
we-
Dudleys, Edge and Christian would
Yeah.
not have become what they became. Same
True.
with the Hardys.
But not only that, but the when you're talking a list of tag teams, they went on. I would argue Edge and Christian went on even bigger after splitting.
True.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
So they went even bigger.
Christian
So-
Cage and Edge, rated R superstar, were bigger than the tag team together.
Right. So they went on to other things. So to me, you've
Yeah.
got to give the nod to other tag teams that just kept going as tag teams.
Right.
I
no,
would think.
I think I would have put the Dudleys on the number one spot.
Yeah.
I really
Yeah.
do.
I would put definitely higher.
Yeah.
Or the New Age Outlaws.
I honestly-
1 and 2,
Yeah.
I think, right up there. But and then the Hardys as well. I don't know.
I honestly would put, and it's no disrespect towards DX, but I would put DX at like number 4, and then, Hardy Boys, Edge and Christian, and then Dudley's. Those top three, those solidified a lot of things for tag team in the Attitude Era.
True.
With tables, the TLC match.
Right. No. I would probably agree with you.
How long did Edge? How long was Edge out? He was out
7
for-
years.
Yeah, so that's
Yeah.
to me that's something too because it's like you just it's mean to say, but you just stop stop being irrelevant in that field when you don't see the wrestler for 7
True.
years. But when he came back, everyone was really excited. So it wasn't like everyone was like, "Who's this guy?" Everyone was actually really excited to see him.
Well, because they didn't. A lot of people didn't think that Edge would be able to come back and
Yeah.
wrestle. You know,
Yeah.
after a
Yeah.
major freaking neck
Yeah,
injury.
No shit.
You know.
Well, 7 years goes by, you pretty much figure the guy's done.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
not coming back.
But to come back and you
Edge
know
wasn't
right
the
off
one
the
who-
bat have a hardcore match.
Right.
You know.
And still, I mean, he's competing at a high level. He's
Yeah.
not just, he's coming back like Ric Flair's comeback match. You know what I mean? Like, he just got through, he got through a match. No, he's coming back at a high,
I can't say
level.
that it kind of sucked for Edge when he did come back. That he came back just as the pandemic hit.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
so he didn't get to have a whole lot of great matches in front of a shit ton of people. I think the biggest match he had when he came back was Rumble. You know,
That was like nobody in the stadium, right?
Yeah, I'll give the
I think so.
pro wrestling
cardboard
world
cutouts.
Yeah, I like.
a big.
It was funny, but yeah, it's not the same.
I'll give the pro wrestling world a big hand, clap and high five because they did have to go through a lot of shit during the pandemic to
Yeah.
get their shit out. Like
Yeah,
it was
but they-
crazy, and for them to keep going, yeah,
Major
it
props.
sucks, especially coming from a wrestling fan. Wrestling in front of an empty arena is not easy,
well, I mean, the WrestleMania, the first WrestleMania
right?
during the pandemic, that was a horrible fucking pay per view. But they did it, because
What else? Yeah, exactly. They were trying to
Exactly.
make
You're
just
entertainment
not
for the
gonna-
world.
You're
You
just
know.
not going to do a WrestleMania this year, so they did it. And
I mean, it wasn't great, but it was still good to watch.
No,
you
and that's what I'm
know?
saying. That like I'm saying, I give a lot of props to them for pushing through and making
Yeah.
it through, and still keeping
Yeah.
us entertained.
Yeah.
Maybe it was not what we wanted and what we expected, but man, did they really try to still give us our wrestling.
I'm gonna give them major credit for everything is shut down. We've got WrestleMania coming up, so we have to kind of scrap a whole bunch of matches. What are we gonna do?
Do it in our backyard, the
we're
training
gonna
center.
we're gonna fucking do it. We're gonna do it at the Performance Center, and we're gonna have a fucking battle royale to get all the way to the top of the building to win a match. Like, come on, fucking. That's a great idea.
And then we're gonna throw Rey Mysterio off the building, but he'll be back on Monday.
right,
Yeah, like good.
That was the
good
birth
job.
of that was the birth of the cinematic match, man.
Yeah.
It really was. The taping and like doing stuff that more movie like.
Not necessarily because you had the Bray Wyatt matches. Like I want to say it was Bray Wyatt and Randy Orton in the house. That was
in the
kind of
house.
cinematic.
Yeah, but
oh,
that was
wait.
after.
Wait, you
No,
got-
it wasn't.
Yeah, 97.
If you want to go back, you do the Dustin Rhodes versus Roddy Piper.
Oh, and the backlot.
The backlot.
Oh yeah.
when
that-
Goldust hit him with the car and Piper broke his fist
all
for
that
real.
stuff. Yes,
Yeah.
when they did all that stuff, that was because
I'll give
a lot
you-
of that stuff was was filmed beforehand and
Yeah.
stuff. And
Right. No,
Yeah,
no,
that
you're
was-
right. That would have been a cinematic match. Yeah.
so which I'm thinking that may have been the first one.
Could have been.
I don't know for certain, but that's the first one I can think of anyway.
Yeah, it was funny watching that and being like, that's Universal Studios.
Yeah.
You're like, wait, is that OJ's Bronco right there? Like that's OJ's Bronco right there. I know it. They used news footage from that.
Oh my god. So yeah, freaking. On top of just those tag teams that we did, is there any other like factions or anything that you guys want to talk about, like corporate ministry, freaking
I wasn't a fan of the corporate ministry,
Neither was
the
I.
ministry? You know,
The ministry
Ministry
was
was cool.
Yeah, ministry was cool.
but I
Yeah.
didn't think Taker should have ever worked for McMahon.
no, it didn't fit.
It didn't work. Just didn't
No
like it.
kidding.
Now, what about the Authority?
Fuck authority. Sorry.
Was that any better? I mean, it was kind of almost the same thing. It was like revisiting it.
Yeah.
I just had no interest in seeing Corporate Kane. Corporate Kane was fucking horrible. I'm sorry.
Well, here's the thing. We've focused almost, with the exception of mentioning the NWO, we've focused entirely on
WWE, yeah.
Yeah.
But during that whole era, I mean, that WCW was doing their thing as well.
Yeah.
You know, so you have the NWO, you've got the LWO, you've got
I think it's just the NWO was so overshadowing of everything over there because it was so big and they were just going through everybody that it tends to, you kind of forget about all the other tag teams.
But there was some interesting stuff in there. What was it? The Dungeon of Doom.
Oh, Kevin Sullivan.
Kevin Sullivan.
And wasn't it Brutus? Wasn't Brutus in
yes,
there?
Brother Brutai was in there. You had,
And,
Earthquake as some
Earthquake,
other name.
yeah.
Like,
I forgot about that.
you know, they did have that going on because isn't that where was at the time the Giant part of that? I think
Yeah.
he was, wasn't he? And then
Yeah.
and then from there went to the NWO before finally jumping ship and going to WWE later.
yeah.
Jumping tub.
You know, so yeah. And again, LWO. You know, and you have to give WCW credit during that time for spotlighting the cruiserweights.
Luchas.
They get into luchadors in there, the cruiserweights, and I mean
That was one thing-
changed. I mean that changed. I mean we still see that today in WWE as a
Right.
huge part of it.
Because I'll give them that. WWE was not a big fan of the luchadors.
No. not at all.
WCW, they were, and they brought them out Psychosis and Super Crazy and who else am I thinking about in there? Juventud and Ray Ray and like Eddie Guerrero. Yeah, he wasn't under the mask there, but he definitely highlighted that lucha style.
Yeah, Eddie Guerrero, Chavo Guerrero. You had all of them over there, and I would say as good as what they are, Rey Mysterio, Eddie Guerrero in particular, it never would have risen, never would have gotten as high as what they did without WCW giving them that outlet to do it and show that off. You know, and then to think, oh, Eddie Guerrero went on to become WWE champion. Like, who would have ever thought that before? You know, even when they were first starting there in WCW, no one would have thought that was going to happen.
No way.
But if it wasn't for that stepping stone, so it was an important thing that they were introducing that kind of stuff.
Oh, definitely, yeah. I mean, I'm trying to think of who else, what other tag teams. Again, 90s era, I really was more a WWE fan, so it's tough for me to like think back and be like, who else was over there?
I think it was because it was different channels, right?
Oh yeah,
Oh yeah. Well, okay. So if I'm trying to think of
was TNT, right?
specifically tag teams, yeah, because it was TBS, TNT, they were on for WCW, and then you had, but they did have some tag teams, in WCW that were going because you still had the Steiners that were there,
yeah.
for a little
And
while
they were.
before.
I want to say this was pre Big Papa Pump, right?
Right,
Or
right before,
near
it
the
was
end.
right before that. Then he went over, and you had, and then of course he becomes Scott Steiner becomes Big Papa Pump, and you've got Buff Bagwell as well. Which
Buff the stuff.
I was a huge Buff Bagwell fan. He just cracked me up.
Marcus Buff Bagwell.
Yes,
His top hat.
he had the big hat, the
And the
weird
sunglasses.
weird ass strut that he would do. He had me in stitches. I was laughing. I thought he was absolutely hilarious. I was disappointed that when WCW was bought out, that they weren't able to make something work with him.
Yeah.
Because I thought he was definitely, his presentation to me seemed very well suited for WWE.
I would have put him in with Too Cool.
Yeah. It would have been,
I would have lumped him in there with them. And he would have fit right in with their characters.
it would have been great.
Yeah.
They definitely could have done something there. But, so it was, I liked him. But you're right, tag team wise, everything was overshadowed. by
Everything
the
was
NWO.
overshadowed by the NWO. They were either Wolfpack or they were,
Yeah, you're right.
original NWO.
Tag teams.
Like that was the only drawback I had to the NWO going over there. Like it was cool when it was Hogan, Hall, Nash.
Yes.
And then it just became
Everybody.
And pretty soon everybody was either on one half or the other.
Yeah.
And it became the NWO show.
Right. No, I think you're right. Hall, Nash, Hogan, 6. Like that was fine. Getting Sean Waltman.
Yeah.
Get him in there. But I think that should have been it.
Right. Once they started just gobbling up people like, oh, we're gonna wrestle you and we're gonna beat you. And when we beat you, you have to join us.
Yeah.
And okay, now we're gonna wrestle you, we're gonna beat you, now you gotta join us.
It sort
And
of-
then all those ones who were forced to join
it lost its impact.
broke off. And now now we're gonna be we're gonna be NWO, but we're gonna be this NWO. You know, and then all of a sudden, oh wait, now Hogan and Nash each want to be a leader. So now they're gonna split up to go to their different respective sides. Like it became all about that.
Yeah.
And
it
that's
got
why
it
it's
got
so
confusing.
hard. Yeah, and that's
It
why
got
it's
really
so hard for me to think and be like, oh yeah,
You're right.
tag teams.
Yeah.
Just that era was so NWO dominated.
It was. I mean, you know, the Four Horsemen was still a faction
Right.
during that time.
Not
So-
a good faction, but they were
It
still there.
wasn't them at their prime, but
No.
they were there.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, you're right. It is hard to nail down.
Right, to
Thing
pull
in
out
that area.
tag teams.
Yes. Wow. Yeah. No, you're right.
Where, like I said, when we were doing 80s, it was easy, you know,
Oh,
Rock and Roll Express
Oh.
and the Legion of Doom.
yeah. Yeah.
I had to think about what they were. Road Warriors over there.
Warriors, Midnight Express.
Midnight Express, right? Like you
Arn
can pull
Anderson,
them out.
Tully Blanchard. You know, there were so many great tag teams.
That stood out. But during that time, I tell you, my brain just goes,
Well, one team I
true.
wanted to bring up was Harlem Heat.
okay, there you go.
Okay. Oh, there's that. It's a
There
good
is,
one.
there's a
Yes.
solid one.
Yeah,
But-
Harlem Heat was fucking awesome.
But that was also the end of them.
But then the NWO came, and then that was the end of.
Yeah.
That was the end of Harlem
Yeah.
Heat.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's
Again,
Yep.
they were like Galactus, the eater of worlds. They just came and engulfed it and took
Yeah.
what they liked, and they didn't like you. You were gone, and you know,
yes.
I mean,
too overpowered.
Mm-hmm.
It destroyed the storyline.
Yeah. Before we get out of here, because we're kind of running out of time, I wanted to tell you guys a list. It's the 10 tag teams you completely forgot competed in WWE during the Attitude Era.
Turbo Team 2000.
Number 10 is, and I don't remember this one, the Public Enemy.
Oh yeah, they wore the
yeah.
jerseys
Yeah.
with the numbers
Yeah.
on the back, and they'd come out and do. They were kind of
were-
like Men on a Mission.
Yeah, they were okay.
Yeah,
there was
they only
decent-
did I think 2 matches and then were out.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they weren't they had backstage heat. I want to say.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
They didn't wear like clocks, right?
Oh,
No.
They were the dollar store version of the Nasty Boys.
Kind of.
Yeah.
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 Number 9, Lowdown.
Lowdown.
D'Lo and
Yeah.
Chaz is from the Headbangers.
okay. I remember them.
I don't.
It was wasn't a very good run, but I do remember. 'em.
I do not remember them.
Number 8, and we had already talked about this one, Cactus Jack and Chainsaw Charlie.
Yeah.
Fucking phenomenal. Number 7, the Los Conquistadors.
Oh yeah. Well, it was Edge and Christian, or it was the Hardy Boys.
Yeah.
One of the two of them would always be under there. Well, no. Originally, I want to say no. I want to say it
Originally,
was
they were well. Originally, they just
the
had
Unicos, or no, the
It was just some jobbers. I think they put anybody they wanted under those masks because they needed just a jobber tag team. I think,
I'll do it.
you know,
Yeah.
I'll go into it and just like, fuck
right?
it.
I
I'll
think
figure it
I think
out.
that's what it was beginning with. But then then later you had Edge and Christian doing it, the Hardy Boys
Yeah.
and stuff. I think so, but I think they were just random. I think it was just a jobber tag team. They could put anybody under those masks because it was complete mask and complete bodysuit as well. So
Yeah.
you could put it didn't matter anything else because nothing was showing.
What was that character Owen Hart was for a while?
The Blue Blazer.
The
Yeah.
Blue Blazer, how he
Yes.
was just like covered from here to there, and that's how
Yes.
they were like, "Oh, it's Owen Hart." He's like, "No, it's not." But we all knew just because of his style of
Yes,
the way
and,
he wrestled.
And that's unfortunate too because he was portraying the Blue Blazer when
Yeah.
the tragic accident. He wasn't even himself. He was
Yeah.
he was playing this character that I don't think he was thrilled with being. And
Yeah.
you know,
Well, it was like a weird time because he was like trying to break off from the Hearts, but not break off from the Hearts.
I think they were
and
trying to get him to kind of forget that he was associated with that whole thing. They were trying to
Yeah.
figure something out with him, but yeah, that's
because they were going through a lot of shit. With,
Yeah.
the Hearts and
Yeah,
it's funny
that's-
how it's really funny how that whole family has so much drama. Every
Oh my gosh.
couple has their own shit going on. And I remember
it's still going on. They still got that drama going on in the Hart family.
Do you know? I don't know if you guys know this, but do you think the Anvil's still married to the? I feel like he got divorced somehow.
Well, you know that Jim, the Anvil Neidhart, died.
Yeah, was he married still?
I think
Yeah.
he was. I think so.
I want to say I think they stayed married.
I think
most
so.
of, up until he passed.
Yeah.
I think.
Yeah.
But they have a lot. But I think it's a lot now. A lot of the trauma stems from spouses and stuff. Because I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. I don't think Owen Hart has been inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame.
No, because
From what I understand, his wife won't let him.
But the wife won't
Yeah.
allow it. I think is what it is. I mean, I don't think it's because they wouldn't do it.
Oh,
I
I'm
think-
sure the WWE would do it if they could, but
Yeah.
the wife doesn't
Yeah.
want anything to do with him.
Yeah.
And I get it.
Yeah. Well, and she approved the Owen Hart.
I was
to
going to
the
mention
tag
that
team
for AEW.
But-
AEW.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, I watched that and I'm like, oh my god, why
To
are
me,
they
it makes
attached-
no sense because he was never a part of
He was never
AEW.
part of it. Well, and I don't know. I just look at, and I'm not a huge AEW fan either. Just too much, just random stuff they just throw out there that doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Including this, like they're putting a match out there, and I'm like, oh man, did we really attach Owen Hart's name to this? Like,
Yeah.
couldn't
Yeah,
we
it
have done a
made
little
no
bit?
sense
Couldn't
to
we
me.
have done a little bit better? I
get
was
you.
thinking,
Made
but
no
I think,
sense.
but then again, it seems like she did it as a spite move. Like,
Yeah.
Kind of.
See, I'm going to do this. Yeah, I'm not going to do anything for you, WWE. I'm going to give it to them
Yeah.
over there.
Kind of.
It doesn't make sense, but I don't care.
Right.
That's kind of a thing.
That does make a lot of sense when you put it that way.
You
Because
know?
she really did hate them.
Yeah.
Or Vic McMahon.
Which, I mean, I get it.
Oh,
I
yeah,
mean, her
dude.
husband died. They're the father of her children,
Yeah.
died, and she probably didn't like the way they handled it, which I don't think they handled it necessarily poorly.
I don't
Well,
think so
I-
either.
But
Well, I mean,
but I could
they-
see
they-
her not liking it still.
They hired like really bad dudes to take care of the strapping.
The rigging.
I
and all
want to
that
say
stuff.
it was the same guy that did Sting's, and Sting had done it hundreds of times.
I think that day they're saying like they usually had that dude, but that day specifically they just hired. Like,
I don't know.
Some
Yeah.
they did talked about it. I think at
But
Dark
I-
Side of the Ring.
But I don't. I mean, obviously, it wasn't on purpose or something.
Right.
No one
Oh,
was
yeah, of course.
seeking for him to get hurt.
No,
Exactly.
You know.
And I mean,
it wasn't New Jack doing it.
had he here's and just because had he gotten killed in the ring wrestling, would she still have hated the WWE as much,
Yeah, yeah, that's a good point.
as opposed to him doing a stunt, which again
probably.
is just as dangerous as wrestling? If you take a German suplex wrong, he break your
think
neck
so.
and be
I
dead.
think
You know,
I think she would have been. It just wouldn't have seemed as justifiable. Like now, because of the way it happened, there's a little more sympathy for her viewpoint. But
Yeah.
whereas if it happened, I think she'd still be upset.
I don't know.
But-
Sometimes I think accidents are exactly what they're called, accidents.
True.
Yeah.
It was
Yes.
tragic, and it happened, but unless it was a malfunction error, because I don't know what they ended up ruling it. Because I remember he accidentally pulled it. It was in a wrong place. Like that sounds like an accident to me, man. Like it wasn't.
Right.
It wasn't like they used a harness that was past its expiration date and it broke on him or something like that. Then I totally blame the company, blame the guy. The guy didn't tie the knot right. Cool. But if it was just an accident that we can't really prove, like for some reason the harness opened, maybe he pulled it by accident, maybe he didn't. It could have been anything. His cape could have gotten caught on it and he went to throw it off and that pulled it. To me, that's an accident and it shouldn't be held against anybody. It's just, it ain't no worse than driving down the road and somebody T-bones you and you get killed. It was an accident.
Right.
Okay. Well, it is kind of hard because it's as a wife and you have your children. It's like there has to be some amount of insurance saying like, okay, if shit hits the fan, you got my wife and kids covered, right? Like,
Well,
I
I
would think
think
that they
think
did.
they did. I mean,
I think she fought for that though. I don't think Vince is very.
I don't know. I think on that one, no, I haven't heard anything specific, but I would think Vince would.
I would
take
hope,
care of her.
I'm going to say that. I would hope Vince would be like, look, we're going to take care of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause, I mean, that's how I would look at it. I mean, like, I understand of like accidents are accidents, but like,
Yeah.
like,
Right, and
wife
I'm not
kid and-
saying that, but it's just like I don't know, to hold such a grudge.
Yeah.
It just seems crazy.
Because like I don't think the Brandon Lee family had a grudge with the dude who
Accidentally
pulled-
shot him with
pulled the trigger.
Yeah. Well, I think she's doing her at this point her husband's memory a disservice.
Yeah.
Where I think WWE would have done a much better job with his name and his legacy if she
Right.
had allowed them to.
Well, that's because he actually worked there. They actually
Right.
felt something for him,
Right.
as opposed to a company that
Right.
I'm not going to say that's why they did it, but literally we're just using his name.
Yeah. Right.
He never worked for us.
Yeah.
None of us
So,
know
yeah.
him.
So I think she's using her animosity, but it's going to ultimately hurt his legacy.
Right.
His
He
memory.
deserves to be in the WWE Hall of Fame.
Absolutely.
And I know it's not the same equivalent, but Brett was able to put his differences aside and realize that he deserved a spot there.
Right.
Yeah.
He had helped make the WWE what it is, just as much as Owen Hart is a contributing factor to the WWE.
Absolutely.
So he deserves to be memorialized there.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And from what I've heard, Brett has been encouraging her to allow them to. Yeah. He's like, hey, yeah, you gotta let them induct him into the Hall of Fame, and she's still no. So if Brett's over it, like, I mean,
Right.
that's pretty.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
They
I
screwed
would
him
have thought
pretty
that'd
bad.
have been a harder hurdle.
Yeah.
True.
All right.
If they ever, let me just say, if they ever made a movie about Owen Hart, I always feel like the guy from Cobra Kai looks just like Owen Hart and could probably pull it off well enough. I forgot the name of the actor.
The William Zappa.
Right.
His name?
Johnny?
Yeah, Johnny.
Yeah. No, I could see. Yeah, I could see him.
I always
yeah,
felt
That
like-
would be, yeah.
I
I'd
see
be
the
okay with that.
similarities. Yeah.
I'd be okay with that.
Yeah, that's good.
Because I don't know. Every time I see Cobra Kai, I'm like, dude, this guy. I feel
now
like
that
it's
you
Owen Hart.
say it, I'm going to see Owen Hart every
Oh,
time.
no,
Now that you say it. I hadn't thought of it till now,
You'd
but
be like,
now,
look,
now I'd be like,
Look, there's the nugget.
All right. We're going to go number 6, Spike Dudley and Taz,
Ooh.
oh,
which
did
I
they?
don't remember that.
I don't remember them teaming.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
Yeah. Number 5, the new Blackjacks.
Wow.
The new Blackjacks.
Yeah.
Oh, hold on a second.
Was the New Jack?
Was that Bradshaw and Wyndham?
Yes.
It was, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh.
And Wyndham came in with his hair dyed black, because he had black hair,
Right.
mustache.
Yeah.
And they came out.
You're
Yeah.
like a wannabe Bart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was
Okay.
trying to look like his dad.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
Number 4, D'Lo Brown and the Godfather.
That would have been probably during the Nation.
I mean, I remember them
Domination.
teaming. I didn't remember them being like a
What was it
tag
called?
team.
It was D'Lo Brown and the Godfather.
Okay.
Yeah, because they were both in the Nation. Yeah, they did team.
Yeah.
So
The Blue Meanie and Goldust.
Oh my God. Yes.
did they?
I remember that the Goldust and Booker T tag team.
Yes,
That was great.
that was highly
Yeah,
entertaining.
but Blue Meanie and Goldust, I don't really remember.
Do not recall that one.
Well, Goldust used to tag team with a lot of people.
Yeah.
He used to swing that way, I think. That's how he would say it.
Number 2, Road Dogg and K Quick.
I do remember when they tag team for a very short time.
Really?
I want to
don't
say it was.
recall that one. Okay,
I want to say it was right after he left Jeff Jarrett, like
I-
before DX.
I got to
Yeah.
be honest. I do not know who K Quick is.
R-Truth.
Our Truth.
Oh, okay. I forgot that he went by that name.
He originally went by K Quick, and that's why I want to say it was when he stopped being the roadie.
Was it okay?
You know, because and that was when we talked about it last time. That was when
Before
it
they
came
put
out that he was the one who was singing the song, and Jeff Jarrett was just lip singing, and they wrestled each other, and Road Dogg won and went out on his own. I want to say he.
baby tonight.
Yeah, I want to say that's when
Yes.
he tag
Remember
teamed
this
with
song,
K
yeah.
Quick, because K Quick used to come out and rap.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Now that you
To that song,
now
Get Rowdy.
Now, okay. Now it's coming back to me. I just don't remember that name, K Quick.
he-
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
Was he
all
white?
right. Who?
Was he white?
K Quick?
Yeah.
No,
Yeah.
it's our truth.
okay.
You know who
Okay.
our truth is, right?
Yeah,
he
sorry.
just
It's
Same
Kevin.
guy.
He just changed the
Kevin.
black.
It's
When
Kevin.
he changed
It's
his
Kevin.
when he changed his name, he went black.
Because he was Ron the Truth Killings, and then
Well, in the times, so you can
Our
do
truth.
that back then.
yeah. All right, the number one tag team, Haku and Rikishi.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Yeah.
They're very dominant.
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's completely
See, I
forgotten.
named one that nobody ever fucking remembers. Turbo Team 2000. But you guys don't remember those guys.
No,
The name sounds familiar.
They
You're gonna have to
were. It
remind
was
me.
like I
Who was it?
don't remember who they were. I just
your
remember it
name
was these
sounds
two guys.
familiar.
One guy had long hair. One guy had short hair. They wore like these silver kind of foily outfits.
God.
Looked like they were from the future.
Yes.
Like
Oh my God, yeah.
Turbo Team 2000 or Tag Team. Yeah.
Wow.
They were
Look them
there-
up.
They didn't last that long.
No, they
But-
didn't.
Oh my God.
Like I said, it
Don't
was.
remember those.
They were up there
That,
as
I
like
can't believe
the
that
worst,
one wasn't on there.
as
Neil,
the worst costumes.
Was it in the 80s or was this like early?
they-
I don't.
No,
think
this was 90s.
No,
Yeah.
another one. There, Power and Glory. Was that what?
That
That,
would've
was
been
not
80s.
Attitude.
That was
era.
Paul
Was
Roma
that, and
and-
Hercules.
Yeah.
Hercules Hernandez.
Yeah.
I liked that team.
Yeah, that would. I want to
thought
say that was late
yeah.
80s.
Was that late 80s? I couldn't remember if that was late 80s or early 90s. I knew it wasn't Attitude Era, but
Yeah, no, I remember Power and Glory.
see, we got to do an 80s one. We got to do 80s. We got to talk 80s.
I'm all, I tell you, 80s is my baby.
80s.
Yeah, I could talk to you about Andy Kaufman.
Yes. Oh,
He's like one of my
there
favorite
you go.
wrestlers.
That's
Like,
his favorite.
Yeah, I don't know. He's
He's
so
your
but-
favorite wrestler, even.
Yeah, dude, he's so ahead of his time. You don't even realize it.
He
I'm just-
was. He
you're
was.
very.
yes.
You can't even do what he does today.
No.
Without getting canceled.
No.
I
no.
guess, like it just sucks. But
Well, no, he was wrestling women, but they weren't letting the women in on on anything, so he was actually having to legit beat these women in the
yeah,
ring.
but you
Okay, it's Techno Team 2000.
Techno Team 2. Okay, see now, who was in that?
I'm looking right now.
Techno Team 2000. The name
This is
now
never-
sounds
never
That's
heard of
more
their picture.
familiar. Who is that? Let me see this. Techno Team 2000. Let's
Here,
see.
I can look it up.
Whoa, no. Is that that's Rotunda? And who's the other guy?
it looks like
That's Mike. That's
the
Mike
barber.
Rotunda.
It's like the barber of the briefcase.
No, it's not. Who
I
is
saw
that?
those guys. I went to an event at the freaking pond or something, and I saw those guys wrestle live. And that's why I was like, who are these dudes?
It is. Rotunda is one of them. You could tell. Looking at his face, but I can't tell who the
So
other guy
the
is.
Techno team, it was formed in 95 to 96, composed of Travis and Troy, son of WWF writer Bill Watts.
Oh, hold on.
Now it's the one I think of when I think of them. The one
Yeah.
with the
Oh,
paint-
so it's one of the
paint on
Eric
face.
Watts is one of them then.
Eric Watts and Chad Fortune.
Chad Fortune. That looks like Mike Rotunda to me.
Fucking hate the word Chad.
Yeah, no, like I said, I remember these
Sorry.
guys. And I'm surprised they weren't on there because these guys were only out for. They debuted in 94. They disbanded the summer of 96.
They weren't around for very long.
So about a year and a half.
I don't recall them. Not really.
See, I'm surprised they didn't make the list.
Yeah. Craziness. Is there anything else you guys want to talk about in the Attitude Era factions and tag teams?
Who was the one with the Canadian Mountie? Didn't he have something with?
Well,
La
they had
Resistance?
They had the Mounties
Oh,
for
yeah.
a while. There was two of them.
Yeah.
And then they became La Resistance, I want to say.
Yeah.
Or the Quebecers.
Yeah, we
The
that's
Quebecers.
going back
Quebecers,
to the
that's who am I
Quebecers.
thinking?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
what I'm thinking of. Sorry.
No, but I think a large part of the Attitude Era came from. I mean, it all stemmed from the screw job, and Vince McMahon becoming the heel.
Yeah.
And everything kind of built from that. Like not just Vince McMahon with ideas behind the scenes. He had to be in front of the camera and portray a believable character that
Yeah.
was a heel. Like he was the one. He was the big boss to overcome.
Well, he was basically doing that that company party, and your boss gets up on the thing, and you got to throw the ball at the target, and he falls into the dunk water
Yes.
thing. It's
Yep.
pretty much was that, and he was like, anyone who wants to do this, go for it.
Yeah.
And who was that? Fuck, I'm totally forgetting. But when they had that promo where they shoved his face in Rikishi, was it?
That was
Rikishi?
Stone
That
Cold.
was Big Show.
Big Show.
It was either the Big Show
No,
or
it
the
was
Rock.
Stone Cold. Stone Cold originally said he was going to rub his face into Trish Stratus's butt,
But they replaced
and then
it
they
with
replaced it with Rikishi's.
Yes,
Because he was all for
So
it. He was
got
like,
the-
yeah. It was during the time right after he had degraded Trish
Yeah.
and made
Yeah.
her
But I
do it to
swear that
him
was
or something
Big
like that.
Show that did that, not.
No.
Stone
I'm pretty
Cold.
sure it was Stone Cold.
Yeah, no, it wasn't Big Show. It was either Stone Cold. It was Stone Cold. It had to be. But Vince McMahon, honestly, what a sport that he would. He did a lot of stuff to go out there. To
That
really
made him
sell the
look-
character. But then the whole family too.
Right.
Stephanie, Shane.
Fucking throw my kids under the bus too.
Yeah, right. I mean, they all went out there, made characters for themselves, even and stuff. So the McMahons were a huge part of the Attitude Era.
Yeah.
Without them, I don't think it wouldn't have worked as well as what it
Man,
did.
that
No,
butt.
I agree.
So before we get into the whole McMahon thing, I actually want to do a podcast about the McMahon family. And,
that'd be awesome.
Going from his dad all the way to current. So
that'd be
let's
fantastic.
kind of not get into the whole McMahon thing because, like I said, I want to do an episode on
Okay,
that.
well,
I think it would be a phenomenal first.
No, I'm down with that.
episode.
Okay, then I'll save the question. Do you think Rikishi wiped or took showers before, or just went through it and just? Okay, well, I'll save that question.
He probably went and ran around
Well, I mean,
the block
he's not a
about
part
5
of the
times.
McMahons. So, I mean, if you want to talk about Rikishi and
Oh, yeah,
and the stink face,
I mean,
you know,
I
would.
can't
would you
imagine-
take the stink face?
if I'm the boss? Hell
Well,
no,
no,
I'm putting
just
my
period.
kid. I'm like, check this out, son. This is when you become a man. Don't tell your mom I said that last part.
It's funny now though. If take any, any promotion, like independent or even the big ones now. If Rikishi were to come back and was going to give someone a stink face, I think just about everybody. Unless you're like Roman Reigns, like you're at the very top, most everybody's going to say, "I'll do it." I think everybody would be like because that's a nostalgia thing as well.
yeah.
And I mean, gosh, the pop on that.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
Who doesn't want to be part of that pop? So yeah, I think that would be.
I just would hate to
I
be the
agree.
meme. Like if that picture of me and his face was just like the new meme going around.
Right?
Don't let life get you down. You think your life sucks? At least you don't have this guy's life. Type of thing. Like,
It
type of
can
thing.
always be worse.
Yeah, there's a greater pain than yours. It says Jesus.
yeah.
But yeah, I always thought about that. Like, shit, like you shoved your boss's face in someone's ass, and dude, and out of anyone, you got this humongous overweight Samoan.
Right. Well, think about it this way. I mean, not only did he shove his boss's face in this huge guy's ass, but he hit him with a bedpan too.
That's true.
pretty
That's
pretty
right.
hard.
That was a
pretty
hard,
hard
solid
too.
hit too.
Yeah, that was pretty hard too.
Yeah, there's no faking that one.
Yeah.
Nope.
Dong.
The
Like,
way
oh.
he did it and held it. Yeah, I'm like there's no way faking that one. I mean, unless you do the fix and posting.
Right.
We'll have to do an episode about like the hardest chair shot hits and like hardcore hits to the head and bumps. That'd be a good one.
Yeah.
Oh, dude.
Oh wow.
Guys, I want to thank you for joining us on this amazing long episode.
Yeah, no kidding. And we didn't even get
It's
into modern
long.
day, so I think we're gonna have to have
that's
a
gonna
part
be a
three.
part 3.
Yeah.
A trilogy.
Only the best.
Sweet. In the third one, the Emperor comes back. Oh, sorry.
Oh.
Spoiler.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert.
Damn.
Big Tony, as always,
My pleasure, brother. I love being here.
the Jesus. Thank
Oh
you.
yeah.
Mr. James, you are like now a staple of this podcast.
Oh, I love it. I love
You
being
know,
here. This is great.
We
Hell yeah.
love having you.
Next
you know.
episode, you get your tattoo.
Ooh. Okay. All right.
Look at
Can-
mine's
can
a tramp stamp.
Oh, can I see it first?
Nope.
Nope.
You're not going to see it after either. We're putting it on your back.
A blind
You're
reveal.
never going to know what it says.
Oh boy.
It's cool. We got this guy that knows Dave Navarro. He's gonna do it.
I'm okay with that.
Guys, make sure you're doing the download thing. You're checking out the interwebs, the social media stuff. We are going to be back probably September. We're going to take like a month or two off. Unfortunately, this is our season finale. We got lots coming up, lots to do, lots going on. Like I said, make sure you're doing the download thing. Make sure you're keeping in touch with us. If there's anything you guys want to hear, you guys want to listen to, talk about, whatever.
Yeah, we always like topic suggestions.
Hit us up on our social media, on the interweb website stuff. Yeah, hopefully you guys had an amazing 4th of July. Hopefully you guys are going to have a nice, cool summer. It's going to be hot.
Hopefully, you still have your fingers.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's important.
Yes. Stay safe out there, everybody. And as always, keep growing those beards. You've been listening to the Punisher Castle podcast. If you have any comments or ideas, you can reach us at PunisherCastle74 on Instagram and Facebook, or visit our website at PunisherCastleProductions.com.